From Hare Baker Field in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, it's almost time for Rockford Rivets baseball. Today, the 14-20 Rockford Rivets take on the 22-12 Fond du Lac Dock Spiders in a Great Lakes inter-subdivision matchup. Good evening, everybody, and thanks for joining me. Happy 4th of July. It's Larry Larson in with you on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. It should be an interesting game today. It's the third game of a four-game season series between Great Lakes East and Great Lakes West opponents. Rockford is sliding entering today's matchup. They've lost 7 of their last 8 games, and they have lost 7 straight road games. That's really been the story for the Rivets as of late. Their road performances have been very, very bad. They're batting just .190 on the road, including a performance yesterday in which they were 2 hit by the Kalamazoo Growlers. The Rivets would fall yesterday by a score of 3-1. They left the bases loaded in the 9th inning, but ultimately the Rivets would drop their 20th loss of the season. While the Rivets are out of first half playoff contention, the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders certainly are not, as the Dock Spiders, with a win today, could clinch the Great Lakes West Division title. They lead their division by 1 game over the Wisconsin Woodchucks. Fond du Lac at 22-12, Wisconsin at 21-13, just 1 game back of the Dock Spiders. However, the Dock Spiders own the tiebreaker, so if there is a tie in the Great Lakes West at the end of the first half, tomorrow the Dock Spiders would win the division and get that playoff berth at the end of the season. Not to fear, Rivets fans, the Rivets will have a chance in the second half of the season, which starts on July 6th, so 2 days from now. Just 2 games remain in the first half. Let's take a look at today's pitching matchup. It'll be the right-hander Ben Vitus going for Rockford, while the left-hander Jared Bellissimo will go for Fond du Lac. Bellissimo stands at 6'1", 200 pounds. He's a redshirt sophomore from Rutgers. Enters today's matchup with an ERA of 5.82, and he has pitched against the Rivets before, back on June 13th, the last matchup between these squads. He went 4 innings, allowed 3 earned runs, struck out 4, and did not walk any in a no-decision and Fond du Lac victory. As for Ben Vitus, his last outing was his first start of the year against Battle Creek on June 28th. He went 5 innings, allowed 4 earned runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 7 hits allowed, and he got the loss. That was part of the Rivets' 5-game losing streak, which they snapped in the final game of their series with Battle Creek, but then the Rivets would go on the road and get right back on the schneid. Again, the Rivets have lost 7 straight road games, and they are 3-7 in their last 10 games. And certainly the goal for manager JT Scare's squad today is to just get back on track for the second half and perhaps maybe play a little bit of spoiler for the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders. Taking a look at the scenery for you here at Hare Baker Field. It is a hot and humid day in central Wisconsin. Temperature at 88 degrees and bright sunshine shining down on the all-natural surface. It's a well-manicured field here at Hare Baker Field, as it is maintained by Marian Catholic University. That's where their baseball team plays its games during the spring, and during the summer, the Dock Spiders call it home. 3:30 down the lines, 400 to dead center. We're going to take a brief moment to step aside for our nation's national anthem. We'll be right back with the starting lineups in baseball. Rivets, Dock Spiders, after this.
With the singing of our national anthem, performed today by Curtis Schwartz. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the
A rousing 4th of July rendition of the nation's national anthem here in Fond du Lac. Rivets and Dock Spiders moments away from action. The players have taken the field. It's 5:05 Central Time. That means it's game time. Let's take a look at today's starting lineups. First for the visiting Rockford Rivets, managed by JT Scara. It's Josue Urdaneta, the redshirt freshman from Indiana State, leading things off and playing shortstop. Phil Matulia is in right field, batting second. Tommy Benson, the switch batter, redshirt freshman from Triton College, is in the 3 spot, playing third base. Daniel Cantu, the cleanup batter, in left field. Wade Elliott is the DH, batting 5th. Tyler Hawkins, the redshirt freshman from Louisville, is the Rivets center fielder. Brian Fuentes bats 7th and plays first base. Brody Harding, the sophomore shortstop from Illinois, is today's second baseman for the Rivets. Harding batting 8th, and Grant McGill will do the catching for Ben Vitus. As for the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders, they're managed by Chuck Thielman, and here's his starting lineup. Chandler Simpson, the league leader in stolen bases, is the leadoff man with 34 swiped bags. He'll play second base. Victor Scott is in center field. Jackson Lofton is at shortstop. Matt McCormick is the third baseman. McGuire Holbrook bats 5th and is the DH. Kite McDonald is out in left field, batting 6th. Josh Spiegel, the redshirt freshman from Penn State, is the backstop, batting 7th. Trey LaFleur, the redshirt sophomore from Ole Miss, transferring from Ole Miss after an up-and-down season there. He'll play first base and bat 8th. And batting last is Ryan Lasko out in right field. The Rivets will square off against the left-hander from Rutgers, Jared Bellissimo. Bellissimo standing at 6 foot 1 inch. At 200 pounds, owns an ERA of 5.28, and has a no decision against the Rockford Rivets earlier this season. Josue Urdaneta, the small switch hitter for Rockford, approaches the right-handed batter's box, and it is almost time for baseball. The umpiring crew today: Marv Gomez behind the plate, Justin Duplessis at third base, and Manuel Flayes at first base. Urdaneta climbs in the right-handed batter's box. Jared Bellissimo working from the windup, and the first pitch is on the way. It's down the middle, taken for a called strike 1 at 5:07 in the Central Time Zone. Bellissimo is a hard thrower, mixes fastball, changeup, curveball, turns and delivers. Fastball out over the heart of the plate again, maybe a changeup there, taken at 81 miles per hour. And the count is quickly 0-2. Urdaneta batting now just .239 after an 0-for-4 performance yesterday. One of the quicker players in the lineup. Here comes the 0-2. Tailing breaking ball, misses down and away. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Urdaneta with a slightly closed batting stance, sporting blue batting gloves with his gray jersey. Here's the 1-2. And an off-speed offering misses down and away. It didn't even register on the radar gun. And the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The wind is howling out to center field on a very hot day. It is a pitcher's ballpark, but the wind can probably help the ball carry a little bit. The kick in the 2-2. Fastball tails too far outside, and the count is full at 3-2. The Dock Spiders uniforms: home white pants with baby blue tops that say Fondy across the chest. Here comes the payoff pitch. The fastball misses high, and after Urdaneta was down 0-2, he draws a leadoff walk in the top of the first inning. Rivets and Dock Spiders scoreless, just getting started. And here's Phil Matulia, the junior from Louisiana Tech. Matulia was 1 for 2 yesterday with 2 walks. Matulia has been so consistent in his time in Rockford after starting 0 for 12. He's riding a 13-game on-base streak. Left-handed pitcher, left-handed batter. First pitch from Bellissimo. Swinging a ground ball through the right side into right field. Urdaneta will stop at second. Matulia on first, and the Rivets have their first 2 batters on in the first frame. Matulia loves to jump all over pitches early in the count, and he did so there. And the Rivets have something brewing, and here's Tommy Benson. Benson, the redshirt freshman from Triton College. Big power from both sides of the plate, but especially the right side. I asked him which side he was more comfortable on, and he told me without a doubt the right side. We even saw him bat from the right side against a right-handed pitcher yesterday in Kalamazoo. Bellissimo from the stretch. Here's the first pitch. Fastball paints the outside corner, taken for a called strike one. Benson adjusts his batting gloves a little bit. Has transferred around in his collegiate career, starting at North Alabama, then to Wabash Valley Community College, and now at Triton. Here's the 0-1. Fastball, swing and a miss. Bellissimo, well-located pitch on the outer half, and it's quickly 0-2. Bellissimo got ahead on Josue Urdaneta 0-2 before throwing 4 straight balls to put the Rivets leadoff man on. The lefty from Rutgers comes set at the chest, kicks and delivers the 0-2, misses outside, and it's 1-2. Benson had a pinch hit appearance in yesterday's Rivets loss, and he drew a walk in the 9th inning. The Rivets would strand the bases loaded for their 7th loss in their last 8 games. Here's the 1-2, swing and a miss. He got him on the breaking ball. Josh Spiegel, the catcher, snaring that one out of the dirt as Benson went around, and there's one down in the top of the first. Rivets nothing and Fond du Lac nothing. Great Lakes Division rivals. Rivets in the east and Fond du Lac in the west. Doc Spiders leading the west. Here's Daniel Cantu with Urdaneta on second and Matulia on first. Lefty on lefty matchup here. And the first pitch from Bellissimo. Breaking ball misses down and away. That thing took a dive away from the big left-handed batter Cantu, and it's 1-0. Cantu, the redshirt freshman from USF, batting .317, did not reach base yesterday for the first time this season. First time in 11 games. Urdaneta takes off for third. The pitch is swung on and pulled foul. Urdaneta got a good jump, but now he'll have to trot back to second base. Matulia stayed put on first. Count is 1-1 on Cantu. The Rivets in their traditional traveling road dark gray uniforms with gold trim, gold numbers, and gold text on the front that says Rockford across the chest, in addition to a number on the front of the uniform. Fond du Lac, as I mentioned earlier, in their baby blue tops with navy blue caps. Bellissimo gets a new baseball and turns to check on Urdaneta. He's not being held on by Jackson Lofton. The shortstop stands a few steps behind him, away from the bag, shifted towards the middle for the lefty Cantu. Bellissimo has the sign. He sets and comes home with a 1-1. Liner down the right field line, foul. That's 1-2. Cantu is all over Bellissimo, but he's been well out in front. Would not surprise me to see Bellissimo maybe go back to the curveball here. Bellissimo sat down Tommy Benson on a strikeout for the first out of the inning. Rivets on first and second. The pause, and now the 1-2. Breaking ball misses low, and it's even at 2 apiece. Good pitch from Bellissimo. Not that far outside of the zone. His breaking ball is very sharp. Takes a steep drop away from lefties, but Cantu laid off. Bellissimo gazes in for the sign. Bit of a power-on-power matchup. Here's the 2-2. Fastball misses low below the knees. Bellissimo thought he had the strike 3 call. Instead, the count is full. Bellissimo has been taxed in this first inning already. Cantu steps out of the box, now steps back in. Gazes out at Bellissimo. He's at 16 pitches already, just threw 1 out in the first. Here's the payoff pitch. Swinging a tapper foul up the first base line. We'll do it again.
Everybody clap your hands.
Cantu has 8 RBIs this summer. Has come through in clutch situations for the Rivets before. had the walk-off hit on June 24th against Kalamazoo. Part of the Rivets' 4-game win streak, their longest of the season, which they immediately followed with a 5-game losing streak. Here's another payoff pitch. Fastball misses outside, and the bases are loaded with 1 out in the top of the first.
The designated hitter from Grayson College, number 7, Wade Elliott.
2 walks and a single issued by Jared Bellissimo as ducks on the pond for Wade Elliott, the sophomore committed to Louisiana Tech, as the Rivets DH tonight. Scoreless between Rockford and Fond du Lac in the top of the first, but that could change quickly. Wade Elliott batting .311, but struggling mightily as of late. Just 1 for his last 16. The first pitch, swung in a line drive past the outreach glove of Matt McCormick into left. Urdaneta around to score. Here comes Matulia. McCormick can't handle the baseball. Cantu into third. He slides in safely, and it's a 2 RBI single for Wade Elliott, and the Rivets lead 2-0 in the first.
Now here's the center fielder.
That has to feel good for Wade Elliott. What a way to snap out of a slump. The 18th and 19th RBIs of the season for Elliott give the Rivets an early lead. Now there's runners on second and third for Tyler Hawkins. The redshirt freshman from Louisville was hit with a pitch with the bases loaded in the 9th yesterday. First pitch, a fastball that splits the plate, taken for a called strike 1. But Hawkins had the day off from starting yesterday, but came up in the clutch spot, and the bat was taken out of his hands in a painful way. His RBI was the Rivets' only run. Here's the 0-1, laced over the shortstop's head into left center field. Cantu trots home to score. Elliott around third. He scores. It's 2 more RBIs. This time off the bat of Tyler Hawkins, and the Rivets lead 4-0 in the top of the first. A great piece of hitting by Hawkins, sending just a little flare, not trying to do too much with it. Looked like an off-speed pitch. Laced into left center. Back-to-back 2 RBI singles from the Rivets. Moving through the heart of the order, and now Austin Griffey, the pitching coach for Fond du Lac, is going to come out for a mound visit and talk things over with Jared Bellissimo. 4 runs in the Rockford first. Jared Bellissimo at 21 pitches. Josue Urdaneta, Phil Matulia, Daniel Cantu, and Wade Elliott all scoring, and now just a runner on first for the 7-batter Brian Fuentes. So the Rivets with 4 runs already, but in their last 3 games entering today, they had scored just 7 runs, including 1 run last night and 2 runs the day before, both those games in Kalamazoo. Rivets falling in both those matchups. Rockford looking to play spoiler on the Dock Spiders, who with a win could clinch the Great Lakes West first half title and earn a playoff berth for the August Northwoods League playoffs. Bellissimo working from the stretch. The mound meeting is over. He comes set, and the first pitch to Brian Fuentes. Actually a kick and a throw over to first base to check on Tyler Hawkins. He's back without a slide. Hawkins with 14 stolen bags. Fuentes holds the bat on his shoulder. Here's the first pitch. He squares to bunt, pulls back, and takes strike 1. Fastball that dots the outer black. Fuentes had the day off yesterday. He's batting just .183 this summer, but has an on-base percentage of .375. So he gets on base a fair amount. Here's the 0-1 to him. Fastball swung on and lifted, foul territory down the first base line. And the first baseman, Trey LaFleur, falls backwards and makes the catch on the warning track. A great play by the redshirt sophomore from Ole Miss. And there's 2 down in the top of the first. Rivets lead 4-0 on 3 hits here in the first. And Brody Harding has a chance to extend this inning. Harding, the sophomore from Illinois, enters today on a 3-game hit streak. Has just 1 strikeout in his last 24 at-bats. Lefty on lefty, and Bellissimo throws the check on Hawkins again. Back safely, he wasn't far off. Shamar Page serving as the Rivets' first base coach today. Doug Coe, the pitching coach, is the third base coach. Rivets manager JT Scara in the dugout. Now the first pitch to Harding. Fastball misses downstairs, and it's 1-0. Harding has proved to be a little streaky so far this summer. Batting .284. Has a home run and 18 RBIs. Here's the 1-0. Fastball darts too far inside. And it's taken for ball 2. Harding moves the bat around in his left hand. Now sways it back and forth, brings it on his shoulder in a slightly closed batting stance. Here's the 2-0 pitch as Hawkins goes. It misses downstairs, throw down to second, not in time, not even close. Hawkins with a great jump, and he moves into scoring position. So a 5th run is out there for the Rivets if Harding can come through. Grant McGill, the catcher, waits on deck. Bellissimo getting Tommy Benson to strike out, and his third batter faced, and then induced a pop out to Fuentes. Here's the 3-0 to Harding, misses down and away, ball 4. And Brody Harding is aboard, and a nightmare first inning continues for Jared Bellissimo. That's his 3rd walk issued in the first frame, in addition to 3 hits. So 2 on, 2 out for Grant McGill, the redshirt freshman from Indiana State, doing the catching tonight. He moves some dirt around in the right-handed batter's box. McGill batting .171 this summer with 6 runs driven in. He's been putting the ball in play a lot lately. He's 0 for his last 7, but has just 2 strikeouts in his last 20 at-bats. First pitch. Fastball misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. The wind continues to blow out steadily to center field. 330 down the lines, 400 to dead center at Hare Baker Field. Bellissimo sets at the letters. And the 1-0 on the way. Swinging a chopper to shortstop. Lofton charges and boots it. Hawkins moves up to third. The throw from McDonald goes into shortstop. Everybody moves up 90 feet, and the inning continues. The second error of the inning on the Dock Spiders, as Kite McDonald had one earlier. And things continue to fall apart for the Dock Spiders in the first frame. The Rivets have batted around. And here's Josue Urdaneta, who scored a run earlier and started the ball game with a walk. Right-handed batter, left-handed pitcher. Lofton squats at the shortstop position. Here's the first pitch. Fastball catches the outer black, taken for a called strike 1. Josue didn't like the call. But if you're Lofton, you got to feel bad, because that might cost Jared Bellissimo the rest of his outing. He's at 30 pitches here in the first inning, and the Northwoods League single-inning pitch limit is 35. The 0-1 breaking ball darts over the plate, taken for a called strike 2. Bellissimo at 31 pitches. If he pitches over 35, he can't come back out for the second. But he's in a good spot on Urdaneta, 0-2. He had him 0-2 in his first plate appearance, but lost him, throwing 4 straight balls. The kick in the 0-2, fastball lined into shallow left, and that falls in front of McDonald. Hawkins around to score. Here comes Brody Harding, the throw to the plate, not in time. A 2 RBI single for Josue Urdaneta makes it 6-0 in the first. The Rivets are all over Jared Bellissimo, the lefty from Rutgers. The struggling Rivets are providing early fireworks on the 4th of July. My goodness. Here's Phil Matulia for the second time this inning. Lefty on lefty. McGill takes his lead off of second base. First pitch. Fastball swung on and tapped foul. Back to the screen. 0-1. As you might imagine, this is the most runs that the Rivets have scored in the first inning all season. Generally, the Rivets struggle on the pitching side of things in the early innings. They have allowed 77 runs in the first two frames this season. Here's the 0-1 to Matulia. He waves and misses at a breaking ball, and it's quickly 0-2. So Bellissimo at 34 pitches. His next will be his 35th, so his day will be done after one inning. Rivets would probably like to see him for a second, but they will get no such privilege. Bellissimo sets at the letters. Here comes the 0-2. Breaking ball misses down and away, and it's 1-2. Matulia singled his first time up and came around to score on a 2 RBI single from Wade Elliott. Rests the bat on his left shoulder, sporting blue batting gloves. Long blonde hair flowing out of the back of his black helmet. The 1-2, fastball fouled straight back. We'll do it again. Rockford and Fond du Lac, former Wisconsin-Illinois East pod rivals. Last year, the Northwoods League adapting their divisions due to COVID, so these two squads faced off a lot. The Rivets went just 2-4 at Hare Baker Field here in Fond du Lac. Here's the 1-2 to Matulia. Fastball runs in. He started to swing and pulled back as soon as he saw it riding up near the chin. He takes it for ball 2, 2-2. Matulia, a native of Houston, Texas. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball misses down and away. And the count is run full. Tommy Benson waits on deck. 0-for-1 with a strikeout here in the first inning. Rivets lead 6-0 on 4 hits, 2 errors, and 3 walks issued by Jared Bellissimo. He looks in for the sign. Comes set at the letters, and now the payoff to Matulia. Swinging a line drive foul up the first base line, and we'll do it again. A lot of hard contact off of Bellissimo. You can tell the Rivets have timed him up, and maybe that has something to do with Rockford's first outing against the lefty. Rivets saw him the last 2 times these teams squared off on June 13th. You could say the teams have gone in 2 separate directions since then, as Fond du Lac is 14-6 since they last played Rockford. Here's another payoff, swing and a miss, and Matulia is set down on strikes, but not before. 6 runs on 4 hits and 2 errors come in to score for Rockford, and after a half, it's the Rivets 6 and the Dock Spiders coming up after a break on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Going to the bottom of the first inning in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, with the Rivets ahead of the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders 6-0. 6 runs on 4 hits and 2 errors in the top of the first, and the Rivets have lots of run support early for the right-handed starter from Central Michigan, Ben Vitus. Vitus with a 1-1 record, making his second start of the year. His last was a decent one. He went 5 innings, surrendering 4 earned runs. He'll face the top of the order here as Chandler Simpson, left-handed batter from UAB, climbs in the first pitch. Fastball runs inside, taken for ball 1. Simpson, the redshirt freshman from Alabama, Birmingham, with a batting average of .374. Here's the 0-1, misses down and in again, and it's 2-0. Simpson, a long and lanky fella, standing at 6'2", 180 pounds. 2-0, swinging a line drive into shallow center, and that one falls in front of the center fielder Hawkins. He gathers it and tosses it back into the infield, and the leadoff man is aboard for the Dock Spiders in the bottom of the first. Rivets lead 6-0, and there's a man on for Victor Scott, the 2-batter. Scott, the redshirt freshman from the University of West Virginia. Owns a .328 batting average. Chandler Simpson, the league leader in stolen bases, with 34, takes his lead off first base. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher in the first pitch. Fastball runs inside, but Scott squared to bunt and pulled back, and it's 1-0. Vitus has struggled to find the zone. The only strike he's delivered was a hit by Simpson. Working from the stretch, sets at the belt, and here comes the 1-0 pitch, swung on and lifted into center field. Hawkins shades towards left, gets under it, makes the catch. The runner Simpson was off with the pitch. He trots back to first, and there's one away. Rivets lead 6-0, and here's Jackson Lofton, the sophomore from Oral Roberts. Committed an error at shortstop in the top half of this inning, which proved to be costly. Looked like a routine ground ball that was going to end the inning, but instead he booted it. And Bellissimo would go past his single innings pitch limit. Righty on righty, and Vitus steps off and tosses over to check on Simpson, who dives back safely. Wasn't the quickest move from Vitus. It's more of a, I'm thinking about you. Now Vitus comes set and comes home with the first pitch. Swinging a fly ball into center. Hawkins back on it, now camps under it, reaches above his head and gloves it for out number 2. Back-to-back F8s in the bottom of the first for Ben Vitus after a leadoff single. Chandler Simpson remains on first base, and here's Matt McCormick. The left-handed batter from Virginia is today's third baseman. McCormick sporting no batting gloves, holds the bat over his helmet. And now the first pitch from Ben Vitus. Instead, a step off and a throw over to first base. And Simpson dives back in safely by a narrow margin. Better move from Vitus there. Freshman from Central Michigan, rocking short black sleeves out of his gray uniform. And the first pitch is cut on and missed by McCormick, and the count is 0-1. McCormick with a big boy hack there. He's played in just 3 games. Batting .300 through those 3 contests. And even 3 for 10 so far this summer with 2 RBIs. Here's the 0-1 to the big lefty. Swing and a fastball down low. Throw down to second in time. Grant McGill guns out Chandler Simpson and gives him a wave as he exits the field, and the inning is over. So Grant McGill cuts down the Northwoods League leader in stolen bases, and Ben Vitus faces the minimum in the first inning. After 1, it's the Rivets 6 and the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders 0 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Top of the second inning at Hare Baker Field in Fond du Lac. The Rivets lead 6-0, and they chase the Dock Spiders starter Jared Bellissimo after just one inning of work. And so on to work the second inning, and perhaps more is Austin Sachin. Sachin, the lefty from Wash U St. Louis, has 4 appearances so far this season and an ERA of 7.15. Struggles a little bit with command. 14 walks, 14 strikeouts. Working from the stretch with nobody on. The first pitch to Tommy Benson. Fastball misses low. Ball 1. It'll be Benson, Cantu, Wade Elliott due up for Rockford in this inning. 3-4-5 in the order. Benson is 0 for 1. Made the first out of the first inning with a strikeout. The kick in the 1-0. Big swing and a miss from Benson on a high fastball, and it's 1-1. Benson has major power from the right side. Really wanted to elevate that fastball. Could not do so. Benson coming to the Rivets after a short stint in the MLB Draft League. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball sent out into right field. Sends the right fielder Lasco back on it, and he gets under it and makes the grab for out number 1. So an encouraging start to Austin Sachin's outing after Jared Bellissimo threw 40 pitches in the first and allowed 6 runs, just 3 of which were earned. Rivets ahead 6-0, and here's Daniel Cantu with the bases empty in the top of the second. Cantu taps the plate twice and holds the black bat out at Sachin. And the first pitch to him. Breaking ball misses up and away, 1-0. Cantu walked and scored the Rivets' 3rd run of the first inning. Sachin, the big lefty. Here's the 1-0. Fastball down in the dirt, taken for ball 2. There's a lot of bad blood between these two teams, even though they play in separate divisions. Fond du Lac in the Great Lakes West, the Rivets in the Great Lakes East. There was a little bit of a spat last time these two teams played. Here's the set in the 2-0 to Cantu. Fastball catches the upper corner of the zone on the outer half. It's 2-1. But the last time these two teams played, back on June 13th, Rivets starter Bryce Barnett hit 3 Dock Spiders. 2-1 on the way. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of Spiegel, and it's 2-2. But after Barnett hit the 3rd batter, Dock Spiders manager Chuck Thielman came out of the dugout to check on his player, but also started yelling at the Rivets dugout. Here's the 2-2. Swinging a ground ball to the left side. Lofton, the shortstop, backhands and chucks it over to first, not in time. Lofton was just not able to get enough on that throw, ranging to his glove side. Ranging to the 3rd base side, excuse me. That would be his throwing side. Moving away from the bag. And as a result, Cantu reaches with a single. Rivets lead 6-0 in the top of the second inning. Runner on for Wade Elliott, who's 1 for 1 with 2 RBIs. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter, and the first pitch. Fastball catches the inside corner, 0-1. But after Thielman said some words to the Rivets dugout, or maybe Bryce Barnett, JT Scarra, the Rivets manager, came out and said some words that were not suitable for air to Thielman. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Fastball splits the plate, taken for a called strike 2. So after the game, Thielman and Scarra got together for the traditional coaches' handshake meeting, and Scarra did not shake any of the Fond du Lac coaches' hands. The 0-2, a fastball runs high. It's 1-2. And I asked JT what he said in that meeting, and it was also not suitable for air. And so today, JT did not hand the Dock Spiders a complete lineup. 1-2, chopper to short. Lofton charges, throws the second for 1. The relay from Simpson on to first is not made. Simpson eats it. And so it's a fielder's choice to cut down Cantu at second base. Wade Elliott safe at first, and there's a man on with 2 down for Tyler Hawkins. Hawkins had a 2 RBI single in the first, getting him to 17 ribbies on the year. Rivets ahead 6-0. First pitch from Sachin. Fastball cut on and missed. Big swing from Hawkins, and it's 0-1. But before the game, Scara did not give anybody a lineup until shortly before first pitch. The 0-1 fastball runs down and away. Taken for ball one apiece. And so that wreaked havoc up here in the press box, of course, but mainly it was just a move to spite Thielman. The kick in the 1-1, swing and a miss. Another big hack from Hawkins, and it's 1-2. So we'll see if anything comes of that beef other than the pregame game playing, if you will. 1-2 delivery. Fastball swung on and fouled straight back. We'll do it again. Austin Sachin allowing a single to Daniel Cantu with 1 out. Cantu was cut down at second base. Wade Elliott stands on first after a fielder's choice. Sachin standing at 6'4", slide steps in the 1-2, swung on a jam shot foul into the first base grandstand. We'll have another pitch. 2 grandstand areas behind each base here at Hare-Baker Field. An aluminum grandstand with chair seating. The 1-2, swing and a miss on a breaking ball downstairs. And Hawkins is caught chasing, and the inning comes to an end. So the Rivets strand Wade Elliott on first base, and the score holds. Rivets 6, Dock Spiders nothing on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the second inning in Fond du Lac. Rivets ahead 6-0 on the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders, a Great Lakes East versus Great Lakes West matchup. Bonvitis, after facing the minimum in the first, faces 4-5-6 here in the second inning. He'll first face Matt McCormick. First pitch to the lefty. Fastball runs high and outside. It's 1-0. McCormick was stranded at the plate when Chandler Simpson was caught stealing to end the first inning. Vitus winds and delivers the 1-0. Fastball cut on and poked foul, 1-1. But Simpson is the Northwoods League leader in stolen bases with 34. And it is very rare for him to get caught. And the 1-1 is laced to second base. Diving stop by Harding, and he can't get the ball out of his glove to his throwing hand. And so McCormick will reach on a base hit. Harding with a valiant effort to knock that ball down, but could not record the out. So there's a runner on for McGuire Holbrook, freshman from West Virginia. Holbrook, the DH, batting .262. Dock Spiders trying to come back from an early 6-0 deficit. Bottom of the second. Vitus sets and delivers the first pitch to the righty. Fastball misses downstairs, 1-0. But Simpson entering today's action was 34 of 39 in the stolen base department. 1-0 from Vitus. Two-seam fastball runs into the zone for a called strike. Snap throw down to first, not in time. And it's 1-1. And now Grant McGill has caught Chandler Simpson stealing twice. He's probably the only catcher in the league to do so 2 times. The 1-1 gets by McGill, breaking ball that got spiked, and so McCormick will trot up to second base into scoring position. And the Dock Spiders have a runner in scoring position for the first time tonight. Early start here in Fond du Lac on the 4th of July. 5:48 p.m. So the sun will shine for the duration of the game. Unless we go deep into extras or this game goes very long. The 2-1, big swing and a miss. Fastball low in the zone from Vitus, and it's 2-2. The freshman from Central Michigan started as a bullpen arm for JT Scara. Then the Rivets manager moved him into the starting rotation, replacing Bryce Barnett, who is no longer with the team. Vitus working from the left side of the rubber. Gives a look at McCormick and delivers the 2-2. Fastball called, strike 3 on the outer black. And McGuire Holbrook has some words for the home plate umpire Marv Gomez, who takes off his mask and tells him to shut it. And now there's 1 down in the bottom of the second. First strikeout for Vitus. McCormick remains on second base. And here's Kite McDonald. McDonald, the redshirt freshman from Mississippi State, batting .296, entering action today. The first pitch. Fastball on the outer black, taken for a called strike 1. It is very hot and very humid today in Wisconsin, and you can see that on home plate umpire Marv Gomez's back. He's wearing a light blue shirt, and he's starting to sweat through it. Here's the 0-1. Fastball misses a hair outside. Vitus goes back to the same general location, but it misses 1-1. You always feel bad for umpires, especially home plate umpires on hot days like today. But for day games, they'll pull out the light blue shirts. The kick in the 1-1 pitch. Fastball paints the black again. It's 1-2. McDonald asking Gomez, was that the same spot as the last pitch you called a ball? And I presume Gomez answers no. Vitus holds the baseball in his right hand, bending at the waist. He's got the sign from McGill. He sets at the belt. Long pause and the 1-2. Breaking ball knocked down by McGill. It missed well low and outside. And the count's even at 2 apiece. Fond du Lac is 7-3 in its last 10. The Dock Spiders are coming off of a walk-off victory last night over the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters. Caleb Durbin, former Rivet, coming through with a walk-off single. So maybe the Spiders riding high into today. Here's the 2-2 offering, swing and a miss on a fastball up and in. And Kite McDonald is set down on strikes. Back-to-back Ks for Ben Vitus. And there's 2 down in the bottom of the second frame. Rivets out ahead 6-zip. And here's Josh Spiegel with Matt McCormick on second base. Spiegel, the redshirt freshman from Penn State, batting under the Mendoza line so far this summer. He's 0 for his last 10, hitless in his last 4 games. Batting average of 196. First pitch to the righty. Fastball lined into right field. Matulia, long run, and he can't make the catch. It's off his glove. McCormick hustles around third into score, and Spiegel cruises into second with a 2-bagger. We'll wait to see how that one is scored. But it was a well-hit ball off the bat of Spiegel, and it will be scored a double. but Matulia had a play on it, but could not make it, and as a result, the Dock Spiders score their first run of the ball game in the bottom of the second. Rivets' lead is cut to 6-1, and here's Trey LaFleur. LaFleur, the redshirt sophomore from Ole Miss, has entered the transfer portal. First pitch to him. Fastball misses down below the knees, and it's 1-0. So Spiegel trades places with McCormick. Spiegel with his 9th RBI of the summer. Vitus has the sign. And now the 1-0. Fastball pulled past the first baseman Fuentes, but foul up the first base side. And the count is 1-1. Fond du Lac Dock Spiders mascot, which is a big furry brown spider named Weaver, is making his way around the home plate grandstand right now. I must say, if I was a small child, I don't know if I'd like that. Here's the 1-1 from Vitus. Fastball paints the outside corner. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Vitus has located that fastball very well on the corners. Vitus brings the hands together, sporting a dark tan glove, and now the 1-2. Swinging a chopper up the first base side, foul again, and we'll have another 1-2. And I imagine that mascot costume for whoever is playing Weaver today is very, very hot. It's a hot and muggy day in central Wisconsin. Here's another 1-2 pitch. Fastball misses high and outside. 2-2. Vitus gets the baseball back from McGill. Steps back on the rubber. The righty from Central Michigan working quickly. Attempting to limit the damage here in the bottom of the second. 2-2, swing and a miss, and Vitus got him. 3 strikeouts for Vitus in the second inning, but he allows 2 hits, including an RBI double off the bat of Josh Spiegel to make this ball game 6-1 after 2 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Top of the third inning in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, with the Rivets out ahead of the Dock Spiders by a score of 6-1. Rivets tossing up 6 runs in the top of the first inning off of Jared Bellissimo in his only inning of work. Austin Sachin already has him beat out of the bullpen. He's out for his second frame. He'll face the lower third of the order, Brian Fuentes, Brody Harding, and Grant McGill. Sachin, the lefty, facing the righty Fuentes. He comes set at the belt with nobody on, and now the first pitch. Curveball misses down and away, 1-0. Fuentes popped out to first base. His counterpart, Trey LaFleur, making a great catch to retire Fuentes, as now Marv Gomez, the home plate umpire, steps out from behind home plate and waves the Rivets bullpen arms into the bullpen. The bullpen area is not enclosed here in Fond du Lac, but there's a fence in front of it. The 1-0, fastball paints the outside corner for strike one. Fuentes has hit a lot of balls hard this summer, but not many for hits. 1-1 delivery, swung on and popped up. Foul, out of play. And it's 1-2. With a win today, Fond du Lac could clinch the Great Lakes West Division first half title. Just 2 games remain in the first half. As for the Rivets, they're not in contention in the Great Lakes East. 6 games behind first place Kenosha and Traverse City. The 1-2, fastball outside, taken for ball 2. But the Rivets just trying to set themselves up for success in the second half. The 2-2 swung on and poked, foul up the first base line. LaFleur gives chase and reaches above his head, and the ball bounces off of his glove. Or he made the catch. It looked like he may have dropped it as he put his hands on his knees, but again, he retires Brian Fuentes on a foul pop fly. That's the first out of the top of the third inning. That brings up Brody Harding with the bases empty. Rivets in front 6-1. Harding walked and scored in the first inning. Lefty on lefty matchup here. And the first pitch. Breaking ball sends Harding ducking. He takes ball 1. Very hot and humid day in central Wisconsin. Press box is very muggy. Here's the 1-0. Fastball catches the lower part of the zone. On the inside corner, it's 1-1. You can tell that pitchers are starting to labor a little bit after throwing a few pitches. Sweat gathering on their face. Here's the kick in the 1-1. Fastball misses in the dirt. 2-1. The Rivets especially are probably a little hotter than the Dock Spiders, as their uniforms are a dark gray, very heavy. Time is called by Harding before the 2-1. Sachin started moving into his delivery but paused it. Usually when time is called and granted in the middle of a delivery, pitchers will just finish their throw, as pausing in the middle might cause an injury, but Sachin's all good. Here's the 2-1 offering. Fastball bounced. Taken for ball 3. Harding, a patient hitter. Not one to swing at much outside of the zone. A sophomore from Illinois. Taps the plate twice. Leans back in the left-handed batter's box. Brings the hands to his shoulder. And now the 3-1. Fastball misses high, and Brody Harding has his second walk of the day. Rivets with a 1-out base runner in the top of the third inning, and here's the 9-batter Grant McGill. McGill reached on an error on the shortstop Jackson Lofton in the first inning, which allowed the inning to extend and 2 more runs to score. Right-handed batter, left-handed pitcher in the first pitch. Fastball dots the outside corner, taken for a called strike 1. Harding with a big lead off of first base. Sachin, the big left-hander, standing at 6'4", sets the belt, steps and throws over to first base. Harding dives back safely. McGill sporting a sleeve on his throwing arm. And the 0-1. Fastball misses high. The catcher, Spiegel, gives Harding a look. No throw, though, and it's 1-1. players often wear those sleeves on their arms, position players at least, to keep their arms warm. But they probably don't need much help with that today. Here's the 1-1, swinging a fly ball foul up the first base line. Well out of play. Harding was off with the pitch. He'll head back to first before the 1-2. Nice 4th of July crowd on hand here in Fond du Lac. Most of the home plate seating bowl is populated. Pickoff throw to first. It's high, and Trey LaFleur, the first baseman, jumps to make the catch. Harding in without a tag. Sachin has the sign. Sets at the belt. And now the 1-2 pitch. Swinging a shot foul again. And we will have a third 1-2 pitch. McGill with a good contact skill. Really does not strike out too often. He's a guy that's able to wear down pitchers, and foul off a lot of pitches. 1-2, breaking ball misses outside, sends Spiegel sliding out of his crouch to catch the pitch, and it's 2-2. Sachin had 33 pitches through an inning and a third. Harding leaning towards second. Now he takes off. The 2-2 swung on and hit into center. Victor Scott back on it and tracks it down, makes the catch. Harding retreats to first base. And there's 2 out in the top of the third. So here's the leadoff man, Josue Urdaneta. Urdaneta is 1 for 1 with a walk and a 2 RBI single back in the first. Josue now up to 7 RBIs this summer. The redshirt freshman from Indiana State. The first pitch to him, fastball outside, 1-0. Josue so often is difficult to pitch to. Standing at 5'9", 175 pounds. Close batting stance from the right side here. 1-0 delivery. Swinging a hopper to shortstop. Lofton gathers it and goes the short way to second for the fielder's choice to cut down Brody Harding. And the inning comes to a close. Rivets don't score, and the score remains. Rivets 6, Dock Spiders 1. Going to the bottom of the third on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the third inning on this 4th of July matchup between the Rockford Rivets and Fond du Lac Dock Spiders. Rivets lead 6-1 thanks to 6 first-inning runs. Ben Vitus out there for inning number 3. He'll face 9-1-2 in the Spiders order, starting with the righty Ryan Lasko. And the first pitch is swung on and lifted into shallow center. Tyler Hawkins has a beat on it, and camps under it and makes the grab one-handed. One pitch, one out for Ben Vitus in the third frame. Vitus not having to do much to outduel his counterpart, Jared Bellissimo, who surrendered 6 runs in just 1 inning, surpassed the single-inning pitch limit in the Northwoods League, tossed 40 pitches. Here's the leadoff man, Chandler Simpson. 1 for 1 with a single, but was caught stealing at second base. And the first pitch to the lefty. Fastball misses down and in near the shoe tops. It's 1-0. Simpson was a member of the Conference USA All-Freshman team for UAB this spring. The 1-0 delivery misses downstairs again, and it's 2-0. Simpson's certainly not a guy you want on base, with 34 swiped bags this summer. The kick in the 2-0. Fastball splits the plate, taken for a called strike 1. Simpson, a native of Atlanta, Georgia, with now a 5-game on-base streak. 2-1, big hack and a miss. Vitus pulled the string on a changeup out over the heart of the plate, and it's 2-2. Vitus, in a rhythm, steps right back on the rubber, gazes in for the sign, and he's got it from McGill, turns and fires the 2-2, misses low, and the count is full. Vitus now at 34 pitches through 2 1/3. Struck out 3 batters in the second inning, but did allow an RBI double to Josh Spiegel, the Dock Spiders' only run. Vitus holds the leather in front of his face. Now the payoff pitch, swung on and grounded to second base. Harding gobbles it up and throws sidearm in time to Brian Fuentes at first base to retire Chandler Simpson. 2 up, 2 down in the bottom of the third inning. Rivets leading 6-1, and bases are empty for Victor Scott. Scott flied out to center field back in the first frame. One of 4 lefties in manager Chuck Thielman's order for Fond du Lac today. First pitch, swinging a jam shot foul over the screen, out of play. And it's 0-1. The screen here in Fond du Lac does not go very high, but neither do the seats. The grandstand behind home plate is a pretty low elevation. Grandstands on the first and third base sides unprotected. The 0-1 slapped foul off to the third base side, well out of Hare Baker Field. And it's quickly 0-2. Hare Baker Field, maintained by Marion University here in central Wisconsin. Very nice facility. Vitus rocks and fires. Swinging a line drive down the first base side, foul. Fuentes made a reaching attempt for it, but it landed in foul ground, and we'll have another 0-2. There's been a fair amount of hard contact off of Vitus, but he's done a good job locating pitches, has not been burned quite yet. And now another 0-2. Breaking ball tapped to second base. Harding waits on it, gathers, throws in time, and it's a 1-2-3 bottom of the third inning for Ben Vitus. The Rivets hold a 6-1 lead on the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Top of the fourth inning in Fond du Lac. Rockford Rivets leading the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders 6-1. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard around the Northwoods League. Action in the Great Lakes East today. Lots of blowouts. The Kokomo Jackrabbits defeat the Battle Creek Bombers by a score of 14-2, while the Traverse City Pittsbitters blow out the Growlers of Kalamazoo by a score of 16-2. A few other games going on. We'll get to those in a few moments. As Phil Matulia, leadoff batter for Rockford here in the fourth, steps in against Austin Sachin. Lefty-on-lefty matchup in the first pitch. Swinging a pop-up in foul territory, and that one will find the grandstand 0-1. 2-3-4 due up for the Rivets in the fourth frame, who jumped all over Dock Spiders starter Jared Bellissimo in the top of the first. The pause and the 0-1. Another swing, and this time a miss from Matulia on a vanishing breaking ball in the dirt, and it's 0-2. Matulia is 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout, both of those coming in the 6-run first inning. Sachin has the sign, kicks and delivers the 0-2 pitch, swinging a tapper foul behind home plate, and we'll do it again. So other action around the Northwoods League today. Lakeshore leads the Wisconsin Woodchucks 2-0, and that has big implications for the Dock Spiders. Sachin sets another 0-2 pitch, swinging a chopper up the first base side, foul. And we'll have now a third 0-2 delivery from Austin Sachin. So entering today's action, Fond du Lac leads the Great Lakes West Division by a game over the Wisconsin Woodchucks. If Fond du Lac ties Wisconsin, the Dock Spiders have the tiebreaker over the Woodchucks, so they would win the first half title. Here's another 0-2, down and away, 1-2. But if the Woodchucks are able to win over Lakeshore today, and the Dock Spiders lose to the Rivets, then those two teams will be tied going into the final day of action. Kick in the 1-2, called strike 3. Breaking ball on the inner half. A nice bender from Sachin. And there's one away in the top of the fourth. Second K for Sachin, the lefty from Wash U St. Louis. And the bases are empty for Tommy Benson. Rivets ahead 6-1. The winner of the first half in the Northwoods League gets an automatic berth into the postseason. Same for the second half winner. Second half begins in 2 days. First pitch to Tommy Benson. Fastball misses high. It's 1-0. The Rivets in the Great Lakes East Division are well out of contention. 6 games behind Kenosha and Traverse City. 2 teams tied for first. So it's coming down to the wire here as well. The 1-0. Fastball misses up and away. 2-0 to Benson. Benson is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout. The switch hitter from Triton College, looking for somewhere to play baseball this upcoming spring. And the 2-0 pitch. Fastball sails on Sachin. Spiegel has to come out of his crouch and make the catch behind the plate. It's 3-0. Benson has reached in all 4 of his games as a Rivet so far this summer, joining the team a short while ago, providing a boost for manager JT Scara. The 3-0 swinging away, and Benson rips it foul down the third base line. It's 3-1. I'm not surprised to see Benson swinging away. He's got a lot of power from both sides of the plate, but especially the right side. And here comes the 3-1 from Sachin. It misses up and away. And Benson draws a 1-out walk. Rivets with their base runner, their first base runner here in the fourth inning. Rockford has had a base runner in each of the 3 innings, or 4 innings, I should say, so far. And now with the runner on, here's Daniel Cantu. Cantu, the left-handed batter, facing off against the lefty Sachin, and he delivers a 12-6 curveball that misses outside, 1-0. Cantu laced in a single to right field his last time up, and he leans away from a fastball, and the count is 2-0. And the catcher, Spiegel, calls time, and now he's going to walk out to the mound to talk things over with his big lefty. Cantu has reached both times today. Once on that single, and then on a first inning walk. Other action in the Great Lakes division around the league today. Kenosha and Madison is a big game, as we talked about a few moments ago. Madison leads 1-0 over the Kingfish at Warner Park, just about an hour south of here in Fond du Lac. And the Green Bay Booyah defeat the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters by a score of 6-2. Last place Booyah coming out with a victory there. Here's the 2-0 offering. Breaking ball misses low below the knees, and it's 3-0. So maybe that mound meeting did not have much benefit for Sachin. I guess time will tell. He's got the sign. The kick in the 3-0. Laced into deep left field. Kyton McDonald camps under it after a sprint and makes the grab. Tommy Benson retreats back to first base. And that's out number 2 in the top of the 4th. Rivets lead the Dock Spiders 6-1. And here's Wade Elliott, who's reached both times, once on a 2 RBI single in the first, and then on a fielder's choice in the second inning. Wade perhaps snapping out of a slump. First pitch to the righty, swinging a poke foul off to the right side out of play. But entering today, Wade was just 1 for his last 16. Wade was batting about 360, 370 for a good amount of the first half, if you will. Here's the 0-1 as the runner goes. Ripped down the left field line. That one drops foul. Wade was all over that pitch, and Benson was running. And now it's 0-2. As the Family Guy jingle plays on the pre-recorded organ at Harebaker Field, Sachin pauses and comes home with the 0-2. Fastball misses well upstairs, above the head of the 6-foot Wade Elliott. Count is 1-2. Benson with good speed on first. Not a prolific base stealer, but good enough speed to do so. Sachin gives him a look and comes home. It's popped up on the right side of the infield. Chandler Simpson camps under it after swaying back and forth and makes the grab, and that ends the innings. The Rivets strand Tommy Benson on first base after a 1-out walk, and it's still Rivets 6, Dock Spiders 1 after 3.5 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the fourth inning at Hare Baker Field in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, with the Rockford Rivets leading Great Lakes rival Fond du Lac by a score of 6-1, thanks to 6 first-inning runs off of Doc Spiders starter Jared Bellissimo. Ben Vitus is cruising right along on the other side of things. He's allowed just 1 run on 3 hits, and that run came on an RBI double by Josh Spiegel in the second inning. Vitus bounced back with a 1-2-3 third, and now he faces 3-4-5 in the Doc Spiders order in the bottom of the fourth. First pitch to the righty, Jackson Lofton. Fastball that paints the outside corner, taken for a called strike one. Vitus gets the baseball back. He's working quickly. Turns and comes home with the 0-1 pitch. Swinging a chopper. Urdaneta charges at shortstop, gathers, throws hurriedly to first base in time to get a bustling Jackson Lofton. And the 6-3 putout begins the bottom of the fourth. Rivets lead 6-1, and here's Matt McCormick. McCormick singled and would later score in the second inning on that Josh Spiegel double. Righty on lefty in the first pitch, a breaking ball cut on and missed. Looked like an awkward hack from McCormick. And it's 0-1. McCormick with bare hands on the black bat. Now the 0-1 to him. Breaking ball, half swing, tap to second base. Urdaneta, the shortstop, over, and he throws to first in time. Urdaneta cut off Brody Harding at the second base position as he was already moving towards first base. Probably the smart play there, as you always want to go with the player who has more momentum moving towards first. So Urdaneta records another 6-3 putout. 2 up, 2 down in the bottom of the fourth. 5 straight batters set down by Ben Vitus in the last 2 innings. Rivets ahead 6-1, and now here's McGuire Holbrook with the bases empty. The first pitch to the righty. Swinging a high chopper to shortstop. Urdaneta cuts it off and throws on the run to first base, and the inning is over. So the Doc Spiders go down 6-3, 6-3, and 6-3 in the bottom of the fourth inning, and the score holds. Rivets 6, Doc Spiders 1 after 4 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Rockford Rivets 6, Fond du Lac Doc Spiders 1, going to the 5th inning at Hare Baker Field in Wisconsin. Rivets out in front thanks to 6 first-inning runs off of Doc Spiders starter Jared Bellissimo. But their offense has settled down a little bit against another lefty, Austin Sachin, coming on out of the bullpen after Bellissimo goes just 1 inning. The Rivets have managed just 1 hit off of him. So Sachin is back out there for another inning, facing Tyler Hawkins, and the first pitch is bunted down the third base line foul, and it's 0-1. Tyler Hawkins, Brian Fuentes, Brody Harding due up in this 5th inning, representing 6, 7, 8 in the Screws order. The Rivets entering tonight's contest have lost 7 of 8 and 7 straight on the road. Here's the 0-1, fastball cut on and tapped foul off the catcher, Spiegel. So the home plate umpire Marv Gomez is going to scoop up the baseball and bring it back to Sachin. And now the count is 0-2. The Rivets dropped 2 games in Kalamazoo on Saturday and Friday. Not much offense for them in those games. Here's the 0-2 to Hawkins. Fastball misses up and away. So the Rivets were 2 hit yesterday, scoring their lone run on a bases-loaded hit by pitch in the 9th. And then the day before, they only scored 2 runs. So their offense starting to get going here in Wisconsin. The 1-2, a bender that misses in the dirt. It's 2-2. And entering today, the Rivets were just hitting 190 away from Rivet Stadium. Just horrendous. The 2-2 swung on and popped up. Behind home plate, Josh Spiegel lost the baseball, and he wouldn't have had a play on it anyways as that one fell into the bleachers. And so the count remains 2-2. And so often baseball minds talk about how you need to go 500 on the road and play above 500 at home. Kicking the 2-2, fastball misses downstairs. It's full on Hawkins. Entering tonight, the Rivets home and road splits 9-8 at home and 5-12 on the road. That's not going to get it done. And now the payoff to Hawkins. Fastball poked off the end of the bat into shallow center. Long run for Victor Scott, and he tracks it down in the right center field gap for out number 1 here in the top of the 5th. Rivets ahead of Fond du Lac by a score of 6-1. And here's Brian Fuentes with the bases empty. Fuentes has popped out to his counterpart, Trey LaFleur, at first base 2 times today. Redshirt freshman from Indiana State squaring off against the sophomore from WashU St. Louis, Austin Sachin, and his first pitch misses high and outside to Fuentes, 1-0. The Rivets are trailing first place Traverse City and Kenosha by 6 games. The 1-0, fastball misses up and away, and it's 2-0. So with just 2 games remaining in the first half, the Rivets are well out of contention for a first half playoff spot. Fond du Lac, on the other hand, leads the Great Lakes West Division, the opposite division of Rockford in the Great Lakes. 2-0, fastball again misses high, and it's 3-0. With a win today, Fond du Lac could clinch the Great Lakes West first half title, and that would get them a invitation to the playoff party come August. Here's the kick and the 3-0 pitch. A fastball spiked and gets away from Josh Spiegel, and Fuentes will make his way to first base. And it's a walk for the Rivets first baseman, and the Screws have now had a base runner in each of the 5 innings today. That brings up Brody Harding, who's reached twice, both on walks. Sachin has now surrendered 3 walks, in addition to 2 strikeouts and just 1 hit. Rivets 6, Doc Spiders 1 on this balmy 4th of July day. First pitch to the lefty, Harding. A slider that misses high, and it's 1-0. Baseball on the 4th of July. What's better than that? No fireworks to follow this game. A little too early. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball finds the zone that time. Taken for a called strike on the outer half. It's 1-1. This game got underway at 5:07 Central Time. It is now 6:32. Sachin sets at the belt and delivers a curveball called strike again. That split the plate. Harding was taking all the way there. Thought that was going to miss inside, but it didn't. A nice breaker from Sachin. And the count is 1-2. Big lefty holds the ball behind his back. Sets and comes home. 1-2. Reached out and tapped in the air in the third base foul territory, and that drops on the warning track out of the reach of Matt McCormick, the third baseman. And we'll have another 1-2. Rockford saw fireworks on both days they had in Kalamazoo, Michigan against the Kalamazoo Growlers. Fireworks among the handful of different promotions the Growlers do. The 1-2 swung on and grounded to second base. Chandler Simpson goes to second for one. The relay from Lofton, not in time at first base. Harding beats it out for a fielder's choice as Fuentes is cut down at the second base bag. And now there's 2 down for Grant McGill, the 9-batter. Rivets in front 6-1, top of the 5th inning. And McGill is 0 for 2, reached on an error in the first and flied out to center in the third. Brody Harding with good speed on first base. We'll see if he takes off here. And the first pitch to McGill. Fastball misses high and outside. 1-0. Sachin has really struggled with missing high this inning. Sachin stands at 6'4" out there on the bump. Probably needs to bend over a little bit more than shorter pitches, and he blows a fastball by McGill on a swing and a miss. And it's 1-1. Nice comeback pitch there. Two-seamer tailing outside. The pause, and now the 1-1. Fastball misses, you guessed it, high and outside. It's 2-1. McGill, not much of a high ball hitter. More of a guy that hunts stuff in the middle of the zone, maybe the lower part as well. Hitters count, 2-1, breaking ball spins in there. Taken for a called strike 2. Deuces are wild here. 2-2 with 2 outs. Harding on first base. And now here comes the 2-2 delivery. Breaking ball chopped foul off the leg of McGill. He's all right. And we'll do it again. It's the 3rd game of the season series between these teams, after the squads split a 2-gamer at Rivet Stadium earlier this month. That would have been in June. 2-2, fastball misses high. Would have been tough for these teams to squeeze in a 2-game set in just 4 days in July. The Rivets and Dock Spiders previously met on June 12th and 13th in Rockford. Here's the payoff to McGill. Breaking ball, laced into right field. Last go back on it, gets under it and reaches up and makes the grab to end the inning. So the Rivets strain Brody Harding on first base, and they are kept off the scoreboard for the 4th consecutive frame. And the score remains Rivets 6, Dock Spiders 1 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the fifth inning in Fond du Lac. The Rockford Rivets lead the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders by a score of 6-1. In case you're just joining us, well, you've missed the action. It all took place in the first 2 innings. The Rivets scoring 6 runs in the first off of Dock Spiders starter Jared Bellissimo, and the Dock Spiders getting one back in the second off of an RBI double from Josh Spiegel. Ben Vitus back out there for another inning, and he'll face Kite McDonald. And the first pitch is chopped down to third, and the hop eats up Tommy Benson. And the ball hops into left field, and now McDonald on his horse, and he's going to get all the way into second base, and the throw gets past the second baseman, Brody Harding. So that'll go as an E5, an easy call there. And the Dock Spiders have a runner in scoring position to start the fifth inning. And that brings up Josh Spiegel, the aforementioned redshirt freshman from Penn State, responsible for the Dock Spiders' lone run this ball game. But Ben Vitus has been very, very good other than that RBI double. Has surrendered just 3 hits. Righty on righty matchup here. And now the first pitch. Swinging a tapper foul behind the plate, 0-1. This is an interdivision matchup. Both these teams belong to the Great Lakes Division in the Northwoods League, but the Rivets in the Great Lakes East, Fond du Lac in the Great Lakes West. Dock Spiders in first in the West. Rivets tied for fourth in the East. The 0-1. Bender misses downstairs. It's 1-1. Ben Vitus climbs back on the hill, steps on the left side of the rubber. Looks for the sign from Grant McGill. Long pause. Sign switching with runner on second base. And now the 1-1. Fastball popped up on the infield in fair territory. Ben Vitus, the pitcher, calls everybody off and makes the grab himself for out number 1. And now Vitus talks that one over with Grant McGill, the catcher. Maybe McGill saying, hey, buddy, let me take care of that next time. And that brings up Trey LaFleur. Runner in scoring position in the bottom of the fifth for Fond du Lac, trailing by 5 to Rockford. LaFleur is 0 for 1 with a swinging strikeout to end the second inning. All of Vitus' 3 strikeouts coming in that second, and now Vitus steps off, and McGill wants to probably run through the signs with Vitus again. McDonald standing on second base has that opportunity to relay any signs he picks off to the batter. That's common baseball practice, not really seen as cheating by many. Not Houston Astros level trash can banging, but maybe just a little heads up from teammate to teammate. Ben Vitus sets, and now the first pitch to LaFleur. Cut on and missed. It's 0-1. Good fastball from Vitus. Has not lost steam throughout the game. Sitting in the high 80s. The freshman from Central Michigan has the sign a little quicker from McGill this time. And now the 0-1. Fastball cut on and poked foul over the screen. It's 0-2. The wind is howling out to center field at Hare Baker Field today. It is a pitcher's park. Not many home runs here. But of course, with the wind at the batters' backs, makes things a little tougher on arms. The 0-2, breaking ball misses down and in. It's 1-2. Ben Vitus has done a nice job since entering the Rivets rotation. This is his second start. Takes a breath and now turns to look back. Kite McDonald at second base. As you might hear some fans not happy with Vitus' pace here. They want to get on with their day, go see some fireworks or something, I guess. Here's the 0-2, fastball lifted foul over the screen and out of play again. The time is 6:42, and The sun won't set till later here on this July 4th afternoon. Looks like it's scheduled to set at 8:37 p.m., so fireworks probably not starting till about 9 o'clock. The pause and the 1-2. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, and Vitus got him. LaFleur is set down on strikes for the second time on his evening. 4 Ks for the Rockford right-hander. And there's 2 down for the 9-batter, Ryan Lasko. Lasko, the freshman from Rutgers, 0 for 1 with a flyout to center field. Rivets ahead 6-1. Ben Vitus looking to keep it that way with Kite McDonald on second base in the first pitch. A fastball runs up and in, 1-0. Rivets have lost 7 of their last 8 games. They've also lost 7 straight road games. Looking to get off the schneid here. Long pause before the 1-0 offering. Fastball misses high. It's 2-0. A decent-sized crowd on hand here in Fond du Lac. Small but mighty, you might say. Making a good amount of noise. Here's the 2-0 from Vitus. Breaking ball misses down and away. McGill snares it and looks back McDonald to second base. And the count is 3-0. At the top of the order, and Chandler Simpson waiting on deck. If you're Vitus, you really want to get this out here. You don't want to face the top of this lineup with 2 on. Here's the kick and the 3-0. Fastball paints the outside corner for a called strike 1. Chandler Simpson on the on-deck circle thought that was ball 4. He started walking towards the plate. Lasko not crowding the plate much in a very narrow batting stance as the runner takes off. Pitch misses low, throw down to third, not in time. And Ryan Lasko will head to first base after a walk. And now JT Scarra is going to come out of the Rivets dugout trying to opine his case for batter's interference on that throw down to third. JT thought that Lasko got in the way a little bit. I believe there was a little bit of contact between Grant McGill and Ryan Lasko, but the discussion really doesn't get anywhere between JT and the home plate umpire Marv Gomez. And now there are runners on the corners for Chandler Simpson. Bit of a sticky situation for Ben Vitus here in the bottom of the 5th. Rivets ahead 6-1. Chandler Simpson, the left-handed batter, is 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out. And after a pause, the first pitch. Fastball misses low, 1-0. Vitus has lost his grip on the zone here. He's not delivered many strikes in his last 2 batters faced. Simpson with an open batting stance. Looks very comfortable on the left side. And the 1-0 misses down and in near the shoe tops of Simpson, and it's 2-0. And now Grant McGill is going to come out for a visit, as will Rivets pitching coach Doug Coe. Good timing here. As we've said, Vitus not finding the zone much to the last 2 hitters. The whole Rockford infield will congregate on the bump. Wind continues to blow out on this humid and windy Fond du Lac July 4th afternoon. Thanks for joining us on your holiday. Hope you've had a great weekend. The Rivets have not had a great weekend so far, dropping back-to-back games in Kalamazoo, with a chance to right the ship here in Fond du Lac. The mound meeting is over. Doug Coe back to the dugout. Rivets infield back to their respective positions before the 2-0 pitch to Chandler Simpson. He taps the plate twice, spins the bat around in his hands a little bit, leans back, brings the bat on his shoulder, and now the 2-0 delivery. Fastball paints the outside corner for strike 1. Simpson taking all the way there, which would be wise. We'll see if Vitus can come back and get him. He's got 4 strikeouts. Here's the set at the belt. And the 2-1 delivery. Fastball splits the plate, taken for a called strike 2. So after Vitus walks Lasko and delivers 2 straight balls to Simpson, he's come back and the count is even. Vitus shakes off Grant McGill. Sets and throws. Swinging a chopper up the middle. Urdaneta shades to his glove side, throws to first, the hop, and the pick from Fuentes gets him. Chandler Simpson, one of the quickest runners in the league, nearly beat that up the line, but Fuentes with a clutch pick out of the dirt to end the inning, and the Dock Spiders strand runners on the corners to end the frame. The score remains Rockford Rivets 6, Fond du Lac Dock Spiders 1 after 5 full on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Top of inning number 6 in Fond du Lac. The Rivets out ahead of the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders by a score of 6-1. 6 first inning runs for Rockford, but their offense has been quieted since by the left-hander from Wash U, Austin Sachin, who came on in relief of starter Jared Bellissimo, who went just 1 inning. The Rivets will send up the top of the order here in the 6th. Josue Urdaneta, Phil Matulia, and Tommy Benson at the least. Starting with Urdaneta, who is 1 for 2 with a single, a walk, and a fielder's choice. First pitch to the small righty. He squares to bunt and drops it up the first base line, foul. It's 0-1. In between innings, we saw some discussion on the field here between Rivets manager JT Scara and the home plate umpire Marv Gomez, and I'm not entirely sure what it was about, but there's been a lot of chatter between the two teams and between innings. Maybe a little smack talk going on. Here's the pause in the 0-1. Breaking ball in there for a called strike 2. Urdaneta watching that one all the way. But as we talked about earlier, a little beef between these two teams from their prior matchup on June 13th. The 0-2, a fastball down and away, misses in the left-handed batter's box. And it's 1-2. Sachin has the sign, pauses at the belt, and the 1-2 delivery swung on and popped up. Stays on the infield. Now Chandler Simpson, the second baseman, into shallow center and makes the grab backpedaling for out number 1 in the 6th frame. Rivets out in front by a score of 6-1, and here's Phil Matulia with the bases empty. Phil singled in the first inning and has struck out 2 times since. Lefty on lefty matchup. And the first offering Swung on and popped up. This one will not get past the pitcher's mound. The pitcher, Sachin, moves out of the way and gives way for Matt McCormick, the third baseman, to make the jogging grab behind the mound. And that's 2 quick outs for Sachin. So a P4 and a P5 to start the Rivets' 6th, as they lead by 5. And here's Tommy Benson with the bags empty. Benson is 0 for 2 with a walk. He's now reached in all 5 of his games as a Rockford Rivet. First pitch to him. Fastball taken for a called strike on the outer black. Benson quickly adjusts his batting gloves in the right-handed batter's box. He's got a new piece of lumber since his last at-bat. Now going with a more dark brown color. The 0-1, breaking ball doesn't break enough into the zone. Misses outside, it's 1-1. Sun's starting to set on the western horizon at Harebaker Field. Right field and the first base side are the sun field. Fastball misses low, and it's 2-1. The sun has not been much of a factor today. It's very hazy sunshine. Lots of moisture in the air. Wind blowing out to center field. Here's the 2-1 to Benson. Swinging a pop fly and foul ground on the first base side. Trey LaFleur in front of the Rivets dugout, tails back towards the field and makes the grab with full extension, and the inning is over. Benson walks back to the dugout, nearly breaking his bat in frustration. Rivets are set down 1-2-3, and the score holds. Rockford 6, Dock Spiders 1 on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Sixth inning in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Rockford Rivets lead the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders by a score of 6-1. Great Lakes East versus Great Lakes West matchup here, as the Rivets are in 4th place in the Great Lakes East Division. Fond du Lac in 1st place in the Great Lakes West, and with a win today, they could clinch the first half title in the Great Lakes West and punch their ticket to the Northwoods League playoffs. But the Rivets and Ben Vitus, the right-handed starter from Central Michigan, have gotten the best of them so far today. Vitus out for inning number 6 of work, facing 2-3-4 in the bottom of the 6th. And the first pitch to Victor Scott. Fastball misses up and away. It's 1-0. Scott, the left-handed batter, a redshirt freshman from West Virginia, is 0 for 2 with a fly out and a ground out. The kick and the 1-0. Swinging a foul back over the screen, and it's 1-1. Vitus has done a really good job just pitching to contact today. And with the wind blowing out, you might get a little concerned if you don't have a strikeout pitcher out there, but Vitus has not avoided contact. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball popped foul out of play up the third base side. The most important thing for Vitus today is he has not gotten behind batters. More often than not, he's gotten well out in front. He's ahead here, 1-2. And he winds and deals the 1-2 offering. Breaking ball laced up the middle. Long run for Erdene to the shortstop. He can't get there, and it's into center. A leadoff base knock for Victor Scott. Victor Scott, one of the better batters for Fond du Lac, has been hot lately. Now a hit in 10 of his last 11 games. And the Dock Spiders have something cooking in the bottom of the 6th. As here's the 3-batter Jackson Lofton. Lofton, the sophomore from Oral Roberts. Righty on righty matchup, and the first pitch from Vitus. Swing and a miss on a fastball down the middle. 0-1. Rivets ahead of Fond du Lac, 6-1. 6 runs on 5 hits, 1 error for Rockford, and 1 run on 4 hits and 2 errors for the home team, Dock Spiders. Here's the 0-1, swinging a foul straight back, and it's 0-2. Vitus again out in front, and talking about his command, the Dock Spiders have not taken many strikes from him all day long. They've been very aggressive, swinging early in counts, probably thinking they can jump all over Vitus, but his fastball has good late life. Here's the 0-2, fastball misses outside, and McGill's throw down to second base as Scott goes, misses well outside. On the left field side of second base, and now the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. McGill's throws have looked pretty good so far today, but that one definitely an exception. Vitus nods at the sign from McGill. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3. The scoreboard reads wrong. It reads that the count is 2 balls and 1 strike, and I think Lofton's going to get away with it. Lofton swung and missed at the first pitch of the at-bat, and it was marked a ball. So the count is 2-2, and nobody realizes it. The count is actually 1-3. And now Rivets manager JT Scare is going to come out and dispute that. It was strike 3, but nobody else in the ballpark realizes that apparently. And so now Marv Gomez is going to meet with the other umpires. Lofton should be out. He swung and missed at the first pitch, then fouled off one over the screen, and then as Victor Scott took off for second base on the 0-2 pitch, he took down and away. And so that made the count 1-2, and then Vitus drew the swing and miss for strike 3. We'll see if the umpire's memories can come through for him here. But as it stands right now, Jackson Lofton is going to get an extra pitch. If we're counting correctly, Vitus will have his 5th strikeout. Marv Gomez discussing things with his fellow umpires, Manville Flatus and Justin Duplessis, and they call Jackson Lofton out. As the PA announcer tries to quell the crowd here in Fond du Lac, it is the correct call. And now there's 1 down with a runner on second base for Matt McCormick. 5 Ks for Vitus. McCormick with an RBI chance here. Rivets out in front 6-1, runner on second base. And the first pitch to the big left-handed batter from West Virginia, swung on and chopped up the first base side. Fuentes can't pick it, but the ball is foul. So it's 0-1. Vitus with a new baseball. A lot of fans are now yelling either at the umpires or at the Rivets, and I think Marv Gomez just acknowledged the fans as one of the fans yelled, "That's 1 strike," and Marv Gomez turned around and nodded at them. So he's having a little fun. Vitus gives a look at the runner, and now the 0-1. Misses downstairs, knocked down by McGill. A nice stop to not let that breaking ball get through. And it's 1-1. Matt McCormick is 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored and a ground out shortstop. Fans continue their heckling. The 1-1, swinging a chopper up the middle to shortstop. Urdaneta gloves, charges, throws in time to first base. Fuentes with a pick over there. And on the play, Victor Scott moves up to third base. So that one's as good as a bunt for Matt McCormick. But now there's 2 down in the bottom of the 6th. Fond du Lac's second run 90 feet away. And it comes down to McGuire Holbrook. Rivets out in front by a score of 6-1. Ben Vitus really clipping along. Got 6 runs of support in the top of the first inning, and it's been all Rivets. First pitch swung on and fouled straight back. If the screen wasn't there, the ball would have headed our way, and it fooled a few fans sitting behind home plate. A few of them sitting in front of me jumped. And it's 0-1. Holbrook is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. 0-1 delivery, swing and a miss on a high fastball. Holbrook with the big boy hack on the high cheese, and it's 0-2. High fastballs so difficult for hitters to get around on, especially when swings are trending towards the uppercut throughout baseball. And Vitus is well out in front. He sets at the belt. Here comes the 0-2. Swinging a liner into left center field. Long run for Hawkins, and he's going to track it down. He falls after making the grab, but a sprinting, running catch for Tyler Hawkins ends the bottom of the 6th inning. The Dock Spiders strand another runner in scoring position, and the score remains Rockford Rivets 6. Fond du Lac Dock Spiders 1 after 6 full on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Rockford Rivets 6, Fond du Lac Dock Spiders 1. Going to the 7th inning in Fond du Lac. Rivets leading with 6 first-inning runs. The Dock Spiders getting their lone tally in the bottom of the 2nd inning. So lots of early action in this one, but since it's been a pitcher's duel of sorts between Fond du Lac reliever Austin Sachin, who's back out there for inning number 7, and Ben Vitus. Here's the first pitch to Daniel Cantu, misses down and away, and it's 1-0. Cantu is 1 for 2 with a single, a fly out, and a walk. Cantu, Wade Elliott, Tyler Hawkins due up in the Rockford 7th inning. 4-5-6, the Rivets' heart of the order. Lefty on lefty matchup here. The pause, and here comes the 1-0. Fastball pulled on the ground, foul up the first base line, and it's 1-1. Ben Vitus on the other side of things for Rockford has gone 6 innings of 4 hit ball, allowing just 1 earned run and 5 strikeouts. For Fond du Lac, Jared Bellissimo had to come out of the game after 1 inning. The 1-1, breaking ball Knocked down by Josh Spiegel with nobody on base. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. But Bellissimo reached the Northwoods League single innings pitch limit after 1, so Austin Sachin came on, and he's gone 5 scoreless so far. The kick in the 2-1, swinging a chopper, fair this time to first base, and Trey LaFleur gloves it and steps on the bag unassisted for out number 1. Rivets lead 6-1, top of the 7th inning. Bases empty now for Wade Elliott, who is 1 for 3 with a 2 RBI base knock back in the first inning. With a win today, Fond du Lac could clinch the Great Lakes West Division first half title. First pitch to Elliott, swing and a miss on an off-speed offering. Sachin pulled the string on Elliott, and it's 0-1. The Rivets in the Great Lakes East, on the other hand, they're 6 games back, out of contention as the first half ends in 2 games. The kick and the 0-2 pitch misses up and away. That was the 0-1 pitch, and now it's 1-1. But the Rivets struggling, especially as of late. They've lost 7 of 8. 1-1 to Wade. A check swing on a pitch outside of the strike zone upstairs, and it's 1-2. Rockford entering with a record of 14-20 into July 4th action today. They've lost 7 of 8, 7 straight on the road. 1-2, breaking ball misses low. Got a piece of both the catcher and the umpire. And the count is even at 2 apiece. Good news for the Rivets is they'll have another chance to seal up a playoff position in the second half. Second half division winner also gets in. 2-2, breaking ball called strike 3 on the back door. And that's out number 2 in the 7th. Strikeout number 3 for Austin Sachin. And the bases are empty for Tyler Hawkins. Hawkins is 1 for 3 with a 2 RBI single back in the first. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter. The set and the delivery from Sachin. Hawkins squares to bunt, pulls back, and misses low for ball 1. Rivets 6, Doc Spiders 1. Thanks for joining me on your 4th of July holiday. The kick and the 1-0 pitch. Hawkins bunts one right back to the pitcher in front of the plate, and the catcher, Spiegel, throws to first in time to beat a hustling Hawkins. Just by a blink of an eye, and the inning comes to an end. It's a 1-2-3 top half of the 7th for Austin Sachin. It's stretch time in Fondy. Rivets 6, Doc Spiders 1 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the 7th inning, Rivets lead the Fond du Lac Doc Spiders 6-1 on a little 4th of July baseball action. Rivets jumping all over the Doc Spiders early for 6 runs in the first. They've been held scoreless since, but it doesn't matter as the freshman from Central Michigan, Ben Vitus, has shut down the Dock Spiders with the exception of one run in the bottom of the second inning, an RBI double off the bat of Josh Spiegel. But Vitus has allowed just 4 hits, and he'll face Kite McDonald to start the frame, and the first pitch is in there, a called strike, fastball at the knees, 0-1. Kite McDonald, Josh Spiegel, Trey LaFleur due up here in the bottom of the 7th. 6, 7, 8. Here's the kick and the 0-1. Bender does not bend enough. Misses up and in, and it's 1-1. Just 2 games remain in the first half of the Northwoods League season. Rivets out of first half playoff contention. 1-1, fastball fouled straight back, and it's 1-2. Rivets 6 games back of division leaders Kenosha and Traverse City, who were tied entering action today, but Kenosha trails Madison, and Traverse City has already beat Kalamazoo 16-2. Here's the kick in the 0-2, swinging a chopper to third. Benson gloves it, steps and throws in time across the diamond for out number 1. Nobody on and 1 down for Josh Spiegel. Rivets ahead 6-1. Spiegel is 1 for 2 with the aforementioned RBI double. Only RBI for the Dock Spiders today. On the other side of things, Fond du Lac, they belong in the Great Lakes West Division, and they lead that division by 1 game over the Wisconsin Woodchucks. Righty on righty, the first pitch to Spiegel, swung on and grounded foul up the third base line. 0-1. And a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard tells us that Wisconsin trails Lakeshore 6-3 on the top of the 4th inning in Wausau. So the Woodchucks need to come back if they want a chance. Kick and the 0-1, swinging a liner into left field, down for a base hit. Daniel Cantu over to cut it off. Spiegel takes a round around first base, and he's aboard with his second base knock of this evening's ball game. We'll see if Fond du Lac can do anything with it as Trey LaFleur climbs in 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Rivets out in front 6-1. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter, and the first delivery misses inside. McGill reaching across his body to snare it behind the plate, and it's 1-0. But Fond du Lac owns the tiebreaker with the Woodchucks, so if the 2 teams tie in the first half, then the title goes to Fond du Lac, and they punch their ticket to the postseason. The kick in the 1-0 misses low. McGill out of his crouch, keeping Josh Spiegel at first base, and it's 2-0. Rockford Rivets starting pitchers have been phenomenal as of late. Starters have allowed 6 runs in the last 3 games, not counting Vitus today. 2-0, swung on and crushed deep to right field, and that ball is out of here. Trey LaFleur knew it off the bat, and it's a 2-run shot in the bottom of the 7th to make the score 6-3 Rivets. LaFleur stood in the left-handed batter's box to admire that shot, and it was a towering blast way out of here. He knew it off the bat. And the Dock Spiders have the Rivets lead. That's the first Dock Spiders run since the bottom of the 2nd inning. Ben Vitus stands on the mound and watches LaFleur get into the third base dugout, and now he climbs back right on the rubber, ready to go again. Here's Ryan Lasko, 9 batter, and the first pitch to him. A fastball misses down and away, and it's 1-0. Vitus with a few extra ticks on that last fastball at 89 after allowing the home run. He takes a breath, turns and delivers. Fastball poked into shallow right. Phil Matulia shades towards the line, gets under it, and makes the grab with 2 hands for out number 2. So Vitus calms the storm a little bit after allowing the 2-run home run to LaFleur. He gets Lasko on 2 pitches. And here's the leadoff man, Chandler Simpson. And now JT Scarra is going to call the bullpen. for the left-hander, who is yet to be identified by the press box, and that will be all for Ben Vitus. But a solid outing, another great start by a Rockford starting pitcher. Vitus goes 6 2/3, allows 3 earned runs on just 6 hits. His game is over. Tyler Horvath is going to come on in relief and try and get Chandler Simpson after a short break. Rivets lead 6-3 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the 7th inning, 2 down, bases empty for Chandler Simpson as Tyler Horvath comes in to relieve Rivet starter Ben Vitus, who went 6 2/3, allowing just 3 earned runs. Horvath, the lefty from the University of Illinois Springfield, has an ERA of 3.97. He's just on a first-half contract, so he's in his final 2 games in a Rivets uniform. First pitch to Chandler Simpson, breaking ball in there for a called strike. Fooled Simpson. He raised his hands as he thought that pitch was going to be inside, but it broke over the heart of the plate. It's 0-1. Simpson, the speedster, is 1 for 3 with 2 groundouts and a single, and the next pitch is slapped into left field for a base knock. Simpson rounds first, thinks about taking off for second, but does not, as Cantu whips the ball back into the infield. And it's a 2-out base runner for the Dock Spiders. Simpson was caught stealing after he singled in the first, so we'll see if he tries to test Grant McGill again as Victor Scott, another lefty, steps in. 2 runs already in here in the bottom of the 7th for Fond du Lac on a 2-run moonshot from Trey LaFleur. Rivets lead by 3. Here's the first pitch. It's a bunt up the first base side. Horvath backhands, flips to first, in time to get Victor Scott by an eyelash. First base umpire Michael Flanis making the call, and the first base umpire is being berated by the first base coach for Fond du Lac. And almost immediately Chuck Thielman out of the third base dugout to argue the call. And now it looks like Michael Flanis, the first base umpire, is going to tend to that discussion, but we're going to head to a break. Rivets still lead 6-3, but the Dock Spiders get a 2-run blast off the bat of Trey LaFleur. We'll be right back on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Moving to the 8th inning in Fond du Lac with the Rivets out in front of Great Lakes rival Fond du Lac by a score of 6-3. 6 runs in the first is the difference in this one for Rockford, but Fond du Lac starting to come back. A 2-run blast off the bat of Trey LaFleur in the bottom of the 7th. And now a new reliever is on for manager Chuck Thielman. It's Gardner Spoljaric, the righty from Stetson. He'll face Brian Fuentes to start the inning and delivers a fastball outside. It's 1-0. Fuentes, Harding, McGill due up for the Rivets here in the 8th. 7-8-9. 1-0. Fastball misses outside again, and it's 2-0. The numbers on Spoljaric. He's got an ERA of a whopping 8.31. 2-0, swung on and lifted into center. Long run for Victor Scott. He sprints and now settles under it for out number 1. Scott lost his cap. He'll tend to that after he tosses the ball back into the infield. 1 down, base is empty for Brody Harding. Rivets lead 6-3. And Harding has reached all 3 times tonight. Once on a walk in the first, then another walk in the 3rd. And then a fielder's choice in the 5th. Righty on left-handed batter, and the first pitch is a fastball that misses up and outside. 1-0. Rivets offense coming to life today. 1-0 pitch, fastball splits the plate, taken for a called strike 1. Rockford was 2 hit yesterday in a loss at Kalamazoo. They've lost 7 of their last 8 games, while also losing 7 straight on the road. Breaking ball misses outside from Spoljaric, and it's 2-1. Lots on the line for Fond du Lac tonight as they lead the Great Lakes West Division. Kick in the 2-1. Breaking ball on the back door, taken for a called strike. It's 2-2 on Brody Harding. But with a win, Fond du Lac would clinch the Great Lakes West first half title with 2 games remaining in the half. Spoljaric turns and comes home. 2-2, slapped foul. Out of play up the third base side. We'll do it again. Spoljaric coming on in relief of Austin Sachin, who relieved Jared Bellissimo, the starter for Fond du Lac, who allowed all 6 runs. 2-2 swung on and flared off to the left side again and out of play once more. And we will have a third 2-2. But Sachin did a really good job of shutting things down. He went 6 innings, allowing just 1 hit, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, no runs. Here's another 2-2, swung on and hit high in the air into right field. Ryan Lasko comes in and makes the grab for out number 2. Harding got underneath that one. If he squared it up, he would have had a chance to hit it out. A similarly high fly ball to Trey LaFleur's home run in the bottom of the 7th. And now with nobody on and 2 down, here's the catcher, Grant McGill. McGill is 0 for 3, 2 flyouts and an error. First pitch, breaking ball misses high and inside, 1-0. Rivets lead 6-3. Top of the 8th inning. The 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball misses inside again, and it's 2-0. The back end of the Rivets bullpen has proved to be solid time in, time out, especially Tucker Shalley. And I'm sure we will see him. Here's the 2-0. Fastball splits the plate. So after Spoljaric couldn't find the zone on the first 2 pitches, it's 2-1. Looking around the stadium here at Hare Baker Field, good crowd on hand. Time is called by McGill. A good amount of Wisconsinites out to watch some baseball on the 4th of July. Spoljaric winds and delivers the 2-1. Grounder to shortstop. Lofton ranges towards the bag, fields and throws on the move in time, and it's a 1-2-3, top of the 8th inning. Rivets don't add to their 6-3 lead as we go to the bottom of the 8th on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Going to the last of the 8th inning at Hare Baker Field in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, with the Rockford Rivets leading the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders by a score of 6-3. And Rivets manager JT Scara has gone back to the bullpen to call upon the right-hander transferring from Illinois Springfield, Cade Turner. Turner relieves Tyler Horvath, and taking a look at Cade's numbers, he has appeared in 9 games for the Rivets. He's got a record of 3-0, and in 14 1/3 innings, he's allowed an ERA of 4.40, 16 strikeouts to 8 walks. His last outing was a bad one. He did not record an out and allowed 2 earned runs. It's a tight ball game here between two teams that don't like each other very much. Just the 3rd game of a 4-game season series between the squads, but there's a little drama back on June 13th at Rivet Stadium. Cade Turner delivers the first pitch to Jackson Lofton. Fastball called strike at the letters, and it's 0-1. It'll be Jackson Lofton, Matt McCormick, and McGuire Holbrook representing 3-4-5 in the Spiders order. Lofton is 0 for 3. The kick and the 0-1. Breaking ball swung on and lifted into shallow left field. Long run for Daniel Cantu, and it drops in front of him. It's a leadoff bloop single for Lofton. And the Dock Spiders have something going into the bottom of the 8th. They trail by 3, but that could change very quickly. It's a potent Dock Spiders team that came out with a walk-off comeback victory last night over Wisconsin Rapids. Fond du Lac 7-3 in their last 10. Rockford 3-7, including losses in 7 of the team's last 8. First pitch to the lefty McCormick. He squares the bunt, gets it hard up the third base line. Benson bare hands and eats the throw. McCormick, the lefty, moving well up the first base line, and the first 2 batters reach in the bottom of the 8th. Back-to-back singles. Not hard contact off of Turner, and now Grant McGill's going to come out and chat things over with Turner. Rivets lead 6-3, bottom of the 8th, but there's 2 on and no out for the 5-batter McGuire Holbrook. Holbrook is 0 for 3. In case you're just joining us, the Rivets picked up 6 runs in the top of the 1st inning. Ben Vitus went 6 2/3 solid. Only allowed 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. But now it's up to the Rivets bullpen to hang on to the lead. Holbrook steps in, righty on righty. The first pitch. Fastball misses low. Turner thought it was a strike, but it's 1-0. The Fond du Lac fans are some of the most rowdy in the entire Northwoods League. Their attendance numbers won't wow you, but it's small but mighty crowds. The 1-0, fastball misses outside, close to the zone again, and it's 2-0. Even last year in 2020 during COVID and Wisconsin-Illinois pod play, the Rivets traveled up here to play the Dock Spiders a lot as the teams played in the Wisconsin-Illinois pod. The fans came out in droves, and they were loud. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swung on and crushed deep to left field, hooking well foul. More than home run distance from McGuire Holbrook, who does not have a home run yet this summer. But the count is 2-1. That'll get the fans riled up. Turner with a new baseball, standing on the left side of the rubber. Holbrook back in the right-handed batter's box in a closed stance. Turner comes set at the belt. Here's the 2-1. Breaking ball misses up and in. Snap throw down to first, not in time. And the count is 3-1. A walk here would load the bases for Kite McDonald. Big pitch coming up for Cade Turner. Could be dangerous. Holbrook has a lot of power. Here's the 3-1. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. It's full. Holbrook wanted to blast that one to Green Bay, but he comes up empty. Turner is dialed in on the mound, gazing in for the sign from Grant McGill with great intensity. Here comes the payoff pitch. Swung on and crushed down the left field line again. Well foul, but home run distance once more. Fans starting to become more engaged in the game. It was all Rivets to start. Now the Dock Spiders have cut the lead to 6-3. Runners on first and second. 3-2 count on McGuire Holbrook. Cade Turner shakes off Grant McGill. Now he's got the sign. Here's another 3-2. It's on the way. Swung on and popped up to the right side. Shallow right field. Phil Matulia gets under it and makes the play. Jackson Lofton fakes towards third base, but stays put at second, and that's a big first out for Cade Turner. So here's Kite McDonald with the runners on first and second here in the bottom of the eighth. Rivets leading 6-3. McDonald is 0 for 3, reached on an error in the fifth. Redshirt freshman from Mississippi State gazes out at Turner. Here's the first pitch. Swing and a miss on a high fastball, 0-1. Lots of swings and misses from Dock Spiders batters today. Rivets pitchers have done a good job, but the bullpen has got to keep it right here. A single could get the Dock Spiders within 2. The kick and the 0-2. Pitch gets away from McGill as Lofton took off for third base, and now McCormick moves up to second. There's a curveball from Turner that McGill just could not get enough glove on, and now a single could cut the Rivets lead to 1. Double play out of order. An intense 4th of July atmosphere in Fond du Lac. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swinging a foul back. It's 1-2. A strikeout would go a long way for Cade Turner. Started the season on a temporary contract for Rivets manager JT Scarra. Pitched so well in the early going, played himself into a full season deal. Here's the 1-2, breaking ball cued off the end of the bat, foul. We'll do it again. Great pitch from Turner. McDonald doing just enough to fight it off. McDonald with 3 RBIs this summer. Turner sets at the belt. Long pause, and he fires the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and popped up over the screen. And out of play, we'll have yet another 1-2 offering. McDonald played in 12 games this spring for Mississippi State. Hit a home run with 4 doubles. Went just 5 for 18, but was productive. Another 1-2, swinging a jam shot back to Turner on the mound. The runner goes from third to third of the plate, not in time. Grant McGill thought he got the tag down. He discusses with the home plate umpire, but to no avail. Lofton broke on contact from third base, and it pays off. McDonald is safe at first base. The throw was in time from Turner, but the tag not so much. And the Rivets lead is down to 6-4. And now JT Scarra is going to come out of the first base dugout and call the bullpen. And Scarra takes the ball from Turner. And it looks like Elijah Sanchez, the junior from Northern Illinois, is going to be the next Rivets reliever, trying to get 2 more outs and keep the Rivets lead at 6-4. We'll be right back on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the 8th inning, one down and runners on first and second base. Rivets manager J.T. Scarra goes back to the bullpen. He pulls Cade Turner in favor of Elijah Sanchez, the junior from Northern Illinois. He's got a 3.86 ERA. He's been very, very good recently. In his last outing on July 1st against Battle Creek, he came in with the bases loaded and recorded the final 2 outs of the 7th inning with 2 strikeouts, getting Jace Warkentine and the Rivets out of the jam, and the Screws would go on to win 4-1. Rockford started this game up 6-0 with 6 runs in the first, but the Dock Spiders have scored 4 straight, including scoring in back-to-back innings, 2 in the bottom of the 7th on a 2-run home run by Trey LaFleur, and then a tapper back to the mound here in the 8th. And Cade Turner flipped to the plate, but Jackson Lofton slid in safely. And now the Rivets lead is down to 2. Sanchez will face Josh Spiegel, who is 2 for 3 with a double, a single, and a run scored. Righty on righty. The first pitch misses down and away, 1-0. The Fondy faithful continues to be very, very loud. Matt McCormick on second base. Kite McDonald on first. Sanchez sets in a closed stance. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It bounces and gets away from McGill. Everybody moves up 90. McCormick to third, McDonald to second. And a single could tie this ball game at 6. Ben Vitus put the Rivets bullpen in a great spot, handing them a 3-run lead after 6 2/3. But the pen is doing its best to give the Rivets dugout, at the very least, some chest pains. Sanchez has the sign, and now the 2-0. Fastball called strike 1. Right down the heart of the plate, and it's 2-1. A deep enough fly ball would likely be enough to score Matt McCormick from third base on a sac fly. Sanchez sets and throws the 2-1. It's downstairs, knocked down by McGill. Could have saved a run there, but now the count is 3-1 with Trey LaFleur, the man who went yard his last time up, waiting on deck. Rivets need 2 outs in this bottom of the 8th inning. 2 runners in scoring position. Rockford leads by 2. Sanchez comes set, and the 3-1 pitch misses low. McGill blocks it, but it's ball 4, and the bases are loaded. McCormick on third. Kite McDonald on second. Josh Spiegel on first base. And now J.T. Scarra is going to come right back out of the Rivets dugout to talk things over with Elijah Sanchez, and he's going to take the baseball from him. J.T. Scarra goes back to the Rivets bullpen, and on comes the Rivets closer, Tucker Shalley. Scarra is going to ask for a 5-out save from the freshman from the University of Illinois. We'll find out if he can get the job done after this, as the Rivets lead by 2 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Still in the bottom of the 8th inning with the Rivets clinging to a 6-4 lead. Runners on first, second, and third. The bases are loaded, and Rivets manager JT Scarra is called upon the third pitcher of this 8th inning. It's the Rivets closer, Tucker Shalley. Shalley, the freshman from the University of Illinois, has been nothing but stellar for Rockford with an ERA of zilch, 0 in 12 1/3 innings pitched. He's allowed 2 runs, but of course, none of which are earned. 5 walks, 16 strikeouts, and the Rivets really need some strikeouts here. Shalley will face Trey LaFleur and possibly Ryan Lasko. Best case scenario here for Shalley: number 1, a double play, and number 2, a strikeout. LaFleur is 1 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a 2-run home run his last time in the bottom of the 7th to make this game 6-3. 1 run is in here in the 8th, and it's 6-4. Rivets led early, 6-0 with 6 runs in the first. Ben Vitus put the bullpen in a great spot, but we'll see if they end up squandering it. First pitch to the lefty, LaFleur. Swing and a miss on a fastball in the low 90s. It's 0-1. Shalley with closer's intensity on the mound. Standing at 6'4", 220 pounds. The long and lanky right-hander comes set. Long pause, and now the 0-1. Swinging a foul back, it's quickly 0-2. LaFleur had that fastball timed up, he knew it. But now he needs to battle. A base hit could tie this game. A gapper or a home run could give the Dock Spiders the lead. Shalley sets at the letters. And now fires the 0-2 pitch. Runs inside. LaFleur jumps out of the way. It's 1-2. Hit by pitch would get the Dock Spiders 1 run closer, but you don't blame LaFleur for jumping out of the way of that. That one would have hit him right in the ribs at about 93. Shalley's got the sign from Grant McGill. 1-2 pitch is on the way. Misses high and outside. It's 2-2. Nowhere to put Trey LaFleur. Ryan Lasko, the freshman from Rutgers, waits in the wings on deck. Power on power. Tucker Shalley comes set and deals the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him on the breaking ball. 2 down. Bases still loaded for Ryan Lasko. Rivets lead 6-4. This feels like the bottom of the 9th, but it's only the bottom of the 8th. Righty on righty. First pitch. Swing and a miss. Lasko swung right through a fastball, and it's 0-1. Lasko, the right fielder, is 0 for 2 with a walk. With that free pass coming in the 5th. Here's the 0-1 to him. Swung on and fouled straight back. It's 0-2. Cade Turner started this inning, recorded 1 out, but allowed 2 hits. Then Elijah Sanchez came on and walked his only batter. Then JT Scarra went right to the closer. Shalley just set down Trey LaFleur on strikes. Can he get another one with the bases loaded? 0-2 on the way. Breaking ball taken outside, 1-2. Great atmosphere at Hare Baker Field in Fond du Lac. Rivets trying to persevere and snap a 7-game road losing streak. Here comes the 1-2, swung on and shot. Deep right field, long run Matulia. He gets under it and makes the grab in front of the warning track, and the inning is over. Tucker Shalley strands the bases loaded, and the Rivets still lead 6-4 after 8 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Rockford Rivets 6, Fond du Lac Dock Spiders 4. Going to the 9th inning at Hare Baker Field in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. The Rivets need some insurance after Tucker Shalley left the bases loaded in the bottom of the Fond du Lac 8th inning to keep this lead right where it's at. Fond du Lac has scored in back-to-back innings, 2 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th. But now the Rivets will send up the top of the order against a new arm for the Dock Spiders. Gus Collins, a hard-throwing right-hander from northeastern Oklahoma A&M, is into the ball game. He stands at 6'4", 230 pounds, and has an ERA of 5.35, 16 strikeouts to 8 walks. They'll face Josue Urdaneta, Phil Matulia, and Tommy Benson at the very least. Urdaneta climbs in the left-handed batter's box for the first time tonight. Switch batter Urdaneta, and the first pitch. Fastball paints the outside corner. It's 0-1. Urdaneta walked in the first inning, also had a 2 RBI single back in that 6-run first for Rockford. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd and then popped out his last time in the 6th. He takes ball 1 outside, and it's 1-1. Josue's a guy you want on base. Great speed. They kick in the 1-1 pitch. Fastball catches the upper part of the zone. Urdaneta whips his head around and looks into the first base dugout. Not saying to the umpire that he didn't like the call, but basically saying to the dugout. Collins from the windup, long pause. He turns and delivers the 1-2. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. And Spiegel dropped the ball. Urdaneta is trying to make the case that he got a piece of that, and Spiegel didn't hang on, but that is not the call, and Urdaneta is set down on strikes. And he'll hear about it from the fans. Base is empty, 1 down, top of the 9th for Phil Matulia. Rivets in front by 2. It will almost certainly be Tucker Shalley, the Rivets closer, back out for the 9th inning to try and nail down a 5-out save. Right-handed pitcher. Left-handed batter, and time is called by Spiegel before the first pitch. Matulia is 1 for 4 with a single and a run scored back in the first. First pitch to him. Breaking ball misses outside, 1-0. The lights have been flipped on at Hare Baker Field this evening game. First pitch at 5:07. Here's the kick in the 1-0. Swinging a chopper down to first base. Picked on a short hop by Trey LaFleur, and he takes it to the bag himself. 2 down. So with the bases empty and the Rivets ahead by 2, here's Tommy Benson. Benson reached on a walk in the 4th inning, but otherwise he's 0 for 3. Benson, another switch hitter, batting from the left side here. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th for Fond du Lac, it'll be the top of the order. Chandler Simpson, Victor Scott, and Jackson Lofton. A tall task for Tucker Shalley. First pitch to Benson. Fastball misses high. It's 1-0. With a win, the Dock Spiders would clinch the first half title in the Great Lakes West. Rockford is out of contention in the Great Lakes East. But they have lost 7 of 8 games and 7 straight on the road. The 1-0, swinging a tapper foul. It's back even at 1 apiece. Tomorrow's ball game will be the final of the first half. If you're Rockford, you've got new life in the second half. The division winners in the second half also get playoff berths. So the Rivets just need to start swinging some momentum their way. The kick in the 1-1. Fastball paints the outside corner. It's 1-2. Gus Collins, the two-way player for manager Chuck Thielman, trying to get the Dock Spiders to the bottom of the 9th, unscathed. Open batting stance for Benson. Collins turns and delivers the 2-1. It's lashed into left center field, and it drops. That's a 2-out base hit for Tommy Benson. And the Rivets have a little something going in the top of the 9th. Benson is aboard for the second time tonight. And here's Daniel Cantu, a guy that certainly could give the Rivets another run with one swing of the bat. Hit 8 home runs this spring at South Florida. Tonight, he's 1 for 3 with a walk. First pitch to the left-handed batter. It's on the way. Misses high and outside. 1-0. Power on power here. Cantu with a big frame in the left-handed batter's box, standing at 6'3". Collins comes set and comes home. Line drive up the middle. That one's going to fall into center field. Victor Scott gathers it on a hop and throws into second base. And the Rivets have 2 on with 2 out in the 9th. Rivets lead by 2, looking for more. Screws could use some insurance as Fond du Lac has scored in back-to-back innings. Four unanswered for Fond du Lac. Time is called as Josh Spiegel, the catcher, is going to come out and run through the signs with Gus Collins. Tommy Benson on second base. Daniel Cantu on first. Wade Elliott, the sophomore committed to Louisiana Tech, is 1 for 4 tonight with a 2 RBI single in the first inning. Also reached on a fielder's choice in the second. The meeting is over. Collins back on the rubber, lets the arm hang, and now comes set at the belt. And here comes the first pitch. It's in there for a called strike. It's 0-1. Elliott adjusts his batting helmet with a slightly closed stance from the right side. Brings the bat on his shoulder, now slightly off. The kick in the 0-1. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Collins pulled the string on Wade, and it's 0-2. Season series tied at 1 apiece between these squads. Some bad blood between them. win would mean a lot of bragging rights going into the season series finale tomorrow. The kick in the 0-2, fastball cut on and missed, and the inning is over. The Rivets strand runners on first and second, and we go to the last of the ninth. Rivets 6, Dock Spiders 4. Buckle your seatbelts. Last chance for Fond du Lac coming up next on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Rockford Rivets lead the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders in what has become a nail-biter. 6-4 as we go to the bottom of the ninth. Top of the order due up for the Dock Spiders to face the Rivets closer Tucker Shalley, who recorded the final 2 outs of the bottom of the 8th inning, stranding the bases loaded for Fond du Lac. That'll be Chandler Simpson, Victor Scott, and Jackson Lofton due up at the very least for the Dock Spiders. Defensive substitution for the Rivets. Greg Ziegler is in to play left field in Daniel Cantu's spot. Ziegler, a tremendous defender, along with Hawkins in center and Matulia in right. That's a solid defensive outfield. Corners come in for the speedster Chandler Simpson. He's 2 for 4 with 2 singles. He squares to bunt and pulls back and takes ball 1. Simpson, the league leader in stolen bases. If Fond du Lac can come back and win this one, they clinch the Great Lakes West first half title and punch their ticket to the Northwoods League playoffs. Here's the 1-0, fastball in there for a called strike 1, back even at 1 apiece. The Rivets are out of contention, with tomorrow being the final game of the first half in the Great Lakes East. 1-1 to the lefty Simpson. Fastball swung on and crushed. Deep right field. Coming on is Matulia, and that one falls. Looked like it was deep off the bat. Now Matulia can't handle the ball, and Scott going around second into third, and he's in safely. Oh my. How about the speed on Chandler Simpson? And he starts this inning with a single and an error. Simpson looked like he was going to stop at first and then zipped all the way to third base. And now the Dock Spiders' 5th run is just 90 feet away. And the tying run is Victor Scott at the plate. Rivets will likely trade an out for a run here. No outs, bottom of the 9th. Rivets lead by 2. First pitch to Victor Scott, the left-handed batter, is on the way. Fastball taken high, 1-0. The Dock Spiders walked off the Wisconsin Rapids rafters last night. Can they do it again to the Rockford Rivets tonight? Tucker Shalley, the Rivets closer, with a 0 ERA, looking to avoid that fate. The kick in the 1-0. Fastball tails too far outside, 2-0. Frankly, Simpson has the speed to steal home plate. Got to watch him off of third base. Tommy Benson, the Rivets' third baseman, even with the bat. Everybody else shaded back. The set. Here comes the 2-0. Fastball misses up and away. It's 3-0. Jackson Lofton, the number 3 batter in the order, waits on deck. He singled and scored in the 8th inning. Scott will be taking all the way here. The redshirt freshman from West Virginia is 1 for 4. Here comes the pitch from Shalley. Fastball high, ball 4. A 4-pitch walk, and the first 2 batters of the Dock Spiders' 9th inning are aboard. Grant McGill calls time and brings in the entire Rivets infield as Doug Coe, the pitching coach, is going to come out of the first base dugout. The tying run now on first base and the winning run at home plate in Jackson Lofton for Fond du Lac. Rockford has lost 7 of its last 8 games and 7 straight away from Rivet Stadium. In case you're just joining us, the Rivets scored 6 times in the first inning, and Rivet starter Ben Vitus turned in a great outing, going 6 2/3, allowing just 3 earned runs. 1 in the second and 2 in the 7th off of a 2-run home run from Trey LaFleur. And then the Dock Spiders got to the Rivets bullpen in the 8th inning, chipping a run off of Cade Turner. That's how we've gotten where we are. The Rivets left 2 runners stranded in the top half of this inning. Mound meeting is over. Runners on the corners. Rivets lead by 2. Rockford would certainly trade 2 outs for a run here. It would not shock me to see Victor Scott take off for second base and then Simpson take off from third if the Rivets throw down to second. Shalley sets. Scott off first base. Does not go. The first pitch swung on and chopped foul, 0-1. Jackson Lofton, the sophomore, headed to Oral Roberts this fall. Just transferring from Sam Houston State. He's 1 for 4 with a strikeout and a single. Power on power. Shalley sets at the letters. Here's the 0-1. Fastball just misses outside. It's a great spot, but just a hair off the black, and it's 1-1. So many fireworks in this ball game on the 4th of July. Rivets clinging to a 2-run lead. Long pause, the kick in the 1-1. Fastball misses high, throw down to second. In time to get Victor Scott, and Chandler Simpson stays put on third base. That's the first out of the inning. Grant McGill hoses his second runner of the ball game, and the Dock Spiders are down to their final 2 outs. The tying run taken off the base paths by Grant McGill. I was shocked to see Simpson not running from third base on that play. And now it's 1-2 on Lofton. And the pitch is popped up behind home plate, and that one will find the seats. And we'll have another one too. A much needed first out for the Rockford Rivets. You can feel the pressure decrease a little bit, and the crowd become just a little less engaged. But and they have been into it the last few innings. Righty on righty. Here comes another 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses high. It's 2-2. Chandler Simpson started the inning with a single down the right field line, and an error on Phil Matulia allowed him to move to third base. McGill claps his glove behind the plate. Sets up low. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and flied into deep left field. Ziegler back on it in front of the track. At the track, makes a running grab. Chandler Simpson will tag and score easily from third base to make it a 6-5 ball game. But now the Dock Spiders are down to their final out. And that is an earned run charged to Tucker Shalley for the first time this season. So his 0 ERA is gone, but the chance at a 5-out save and a Rivets victory is not. Base is empty, 2 down for Matt McCormick. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. The first pitch swung on and popped up on the infield. This could do it. Josue Urdaneta, the shortstop, calls for it. Gets under it, makes the grab, and the ball game is over. The Rivets take the ball game 6-5 over the first place Fond du Lac Dock Spiders. What a thriller on America's birthday. We'll be back with the totals after this on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. The final lines in this Rockford Rivets victory. The Rockford Rivets, 6 runs on 7 hits, 2 errors, and 7 men left on base. For the Dock Spiders, 5 runs on 10 hits, 2 errors, and 9 left. The pitchers of record, Ben Vitus gets a well-deserved victory. He went 6 2/3 innings, allowing 6 hits, just 3 earned runs, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts on 88 pitches. The loss goes to Jared Bellissimo, who allowed all 6 of the Rivets' runs back in the first inning. He gets the loss and falls to 1-1. The save goes to Tucker Shalley, who slammed the door with a 5-out save, stranded the bases loaded for Fond du Lac in the bottom of the 8th, and then allowed his first earned run of the season in the top of the 9th inning, but got the job done, only allowing a sacrifice fly. And the Rivets pick up their 15th victory of the season. They improve to 15-20. As for the Dock Spiders, they drop to 22 7-13, so they will either have to wait on a Wisconsin Woodchucks loss or until tomorrow to clinch the first half title in the Great Lakes West Division. Nothing of that sort at stake for Rockford as they are out of contention in the first half, but today they snap a 7-game road losing streak after entering this one losing 7 of their last 8 overall. The Rivets take it over the Dock Spiders 6-5. Up next for both these squads, they're going to run it back tomorrow with a 6:35 first pitch right here at Hare Baker Field. The pregame show will get underway at 6:20. I'll have the call right here for you on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Rivets and Fond du Lac wrapping this one up in 3 hours and 6 minutes in front of a 4th of July crowd of 598, which played a great factor down the stretch. But at the end of the day, the Rivets come out with a nail-biting 1-run victory over the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders by a final of 6-5. That about does it from Hare Baker Field in Fond du Lac. This is Larry Larson saying so long and thank you for joining me, and happy Independence Day. We will talk to you tomorrow. So long, everybody.